Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wileyverse. We are here playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons persistent campaign called the Cardinal Bond. This game is set in Baldur's Gate as tensions are running high and the streets are kind of at a state of unrest. With me, I have Mitch down on the end, playing Erebor, a half-elf rogue.
Hi.
Erevar.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Francois.
He's very Francois Baguette.
Next to him is Kaelin, playing Loradov, the Eladrin monk, Summer Eladrin monk. Then we have Dayton, playing Jordarai, the Spring Eladrin Ranger.
I already popped my top.
I am the Dungeon Master, and I am also playing the Cleric of Tymora, Maeve. And we are not sponsored by White Claw, but we're totally open. We're totally open, White Claw.
They said this is cease and desist.
Yeah, there
Right.
probably are. Truly, we're totally open to a sponsorship. As I stated, the atmosphere of Baldur's Gate is on edge. I actually have a little intro, which I'm going to hope to turn into an actual intro with a smooth radio voice over there. But here is the state of affairs going on. The air in Baldur's Gate is thick with tension. Crime, murder, and disappearances are on the rise. Rumors spread that lycanthropy has returned, and pirates plague the trade lanes that feed the coffers of the Grey Harbor. The Flaming Fist are stretched to the limit as they chase down an unprecedented gnoll horde that infests the coast. Our characters are taking on they are members of the Cardinal Bond, which is a mercenary and labor company. They're trying to pick up the slack now that the Flaming Fist is a little bit stretched thin. So they're getting jobs to go out and help the community, clear things out, protect things, kill things, normal mercenary stuff. Last week, all of these folk right here have been a part of the Cardinal Bond for a little while. They've done some jobs, but last week was their first job together.
I just didn't see it before. So
Yeah, it's down there.
Yeah, just check.
I have it on, apparently, oh yeah, okay. It's only when it's the scene.
Very specific question for just testing.
Yeah. You could have just asked me, bro.
I was just curious because I didn't see it. I know where it's supposed to be because we've played before.
But we were on the other scene. We were on the stream. We'll be starting soon. So our group came together for the first time. These two Eladrin know each other. Au revoir, and Maeve. Well, Maeve's actually brand new. They were put together and told to go clear out an infested farmstead. A farmstead that the family there was run off. They exited the city, went off into the countryside, found the farmstead, and ambushed some gnolls. The gnolls were quite filthy, and all they had on them were these bags of strange silver coins. These dirty, grimy, very large silver coins. So they procured those.
And the bag had a horned gorilla?
No, one of the coins did. They have a spiral on one side and crazy animal faces on the other.
A bull, stag,
Yeah.
goat.
We thought of some good band names. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see them up there.
I know, pube defecate.
On the way back, the gates were already shut, even though it was still daylight, because of unrest in the city. They bribed their way past the guards, but the delay was just enough that they couldn't get back to the offices in time to complete their assignment and get paid. So Mitch down there does what he does best and split the party. He stayed at the Fated Sign, which is a bondsman hangout where people of the Cardinal Bond stay, while the rest of them went to the Elfsong Inn. You met a strange tiefling. I say you, it's Erevar, met a strange tiefling, talkative, interested in those coins, and while you cheated him out of money at dice, he bought one of the coins from you. Then he went on his way bar hopping for the rest of the night. At least that's what he said he was doing. Over at the Elf Song, they ate, they drank, they wanted to get some rest. And when they were in there for a couple hours, they're doing their meditations. Maeve was asleep. Strange occurrence happened. A giant centipede, crawled into the room and unlocked the door, letting a strange creature into the room. A fight broke out, and a fight broke out, and a poisonous cloud was released in the room, and the players decided it was time to leave, and they jumped out the window. And that is where we are. You guys are in the streets of Baldur's Gate. It is deep into the night. You are bloodied. You are just in your bedclothes with the weapons you grabbed when you first woke up. It's mist-covered, dark.
I'm not with you.
You're not. So you are running, and you told me like last week, you're running to the Fated Sign to reunite with your other companion. Is that still what you're doing?
Yeah, and we're missing a lot of our essential gear as well.
It's all still up in your room.
Apparently, I'm in my night clothes, so.
Everyone's in there, just what they were sleeping in.
So Maeve has some pretty sexy lingerie.
Yeah, Maeve has nothing. Like she has what she was wearing in her holy symbol, and that's it. So
we know exactly where we're going, right?
You know exactly. You were just there earlier that evening. When it's right across from the office, Foreman Ice Pick's office. You guys went there to see if Ice Pick was there, because you could still complete your assignment. Though, when you were there, you decided that you were going to go back, because you guys have a room at the Elf Song Inn paid for a month. And you've been there for like a week already, a 10-day. So, like, you're known there, and now you're jumping out the window and running away. So, you're running through the streets, and luckily for you, Baldur's Gate is one of those cities where people running through the streets bloodied and in their night clothes doesn't cause quite a stir. So, you're, like, running by people, and the only two reactions are people intentionally ignore you, or they start running as well. Okay. So, they're like, oh, something must be coming, gone, or the people like, and go back to what they're doing. And there's still people out on the streets, couple here, couple there, some drunks sleeping it off, others just, they're on third shift down at the dock, so there are folks about, but none of them are paying you much mind.
So if we go up into Aerovar's hotel, we're like, what the fuck just happened? It's not going to be like a complete disturbance.
It might. You don't know. It is pretty late. So the probabilities that the tap room at the tavern is still open is kind of low. Okay. But we'll see when you get there.
Okay. We know what room he's in and everything.
You do not.
That's unfortunate.
So you guys get to the Fated Sign, and you throw open the door. The door is still open. It's not barred or anything. And as you throw open the door, there's a server over cleaning some tables, and the bartender's still there cleaning, grabbing mugs and things like that. And he jumps when you guys get in, topples some of the mugs in his hands, and then looks over at the cudgel that he has sitting on the bar. But then looks back and he recognizes you, because this is a bondsman hangout. So he's like, "Oh, what happened to you two?"
It's been a terrible fight, and we're looking for Erevar. It's urgent.
Room 5.
No, you're not supposed to.
Boom, done.
In the hotel before, you're not supposed to give away information about people's rooms.
It's Cardinal Bond.
Yeah,
it's Cardinal Bond Hotel. These are.
I get it. Plus, with the story going, I'm not gonna tell you. You're like, that son of a bitch.
No, we can roll some persuasion checks. But
should we try to?
He told you. Yeah, he's on your side. He gets most of his business from people that are your peers.
Which is Maeve here with us?
Yes.
You just said what happened to you two. I was like, is there 3 of us?
She looks at Maeve is brand new. this was her for like she walked into that office that morning,
Yeah.
joined the Cardinal Bond, and got sent out with you. So he doesn't know her. Yeah, you got she's fine. You know where he's at, so you wanna head upstairs?
Let's head upstairs. Should we try to fuck with him? Like we've been fucked with?
Oh, there's no time for that. As much as
It's
I
true.
love to.
So we go, we
like-
knock softly.
As you guys are coming up, like Maeve like looks at your state of your clothes and everything's like, oh yeah, and mends them all where all the claw marks are and all that, like, fixes them.
Oh, so she can do that?
Yeah, she can
Okay.
fix, she can't
just
clean.
can't clean. Okay.
It's
So-
more of a mage hand.
She's got,
No, it's prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah,
she's got mending,
she's got mending.
she has thaumaturgy, but it doesn't.
She has thaumaturgy, doesn't clean. Which, I get it. I get what thaumaturgy does, but man, I miss the cleaning. I miss the cleaning and flavoring and heating food.
So I just go up to the door and I knock softly,
Oh.
like just enough to wake him up, but not enough to scare him.
Can I roll to ignore
You don't have to roll to ignore, but you're a elf, so you kind of a light sleeper.
Oh, that's
Or
right.
you're a half elf,
Half
I
elf.
should say.
So I'm just
You're-
meditating.
No, you sleep.
Oh, I'm half. That's right.
You're half elf, but you're much lighter than a human does.
All right. So, who is it?
It's us.
Us who? I know many us's.
It's Jordarai.
Should probably
That
start
name
learning
is
her name.
hard.
Names are hard.
I was like,
Call him
you
Jordy.
could have just said your own name and moved on.
Nice.
Yeah, you could have.
There it is. New
Hi,
campaign,
Ranger
new
Paul
setting.
Kane.
A whole new world. And there was some conversation on Wisdom Check on Monday about like pretty much all of them start at 3rd level always. They don't start first level characters. They hate the first 2 level campaigns. I love it. I love it when you're scared and hungry. I love it when I can kill you in one shot.
I'll let them into the room.
All right, you open the door and yeah, you see
What?
she's
happened to
bloodied. You never took a hit, right?
I was hit.
You were hit, so
I'm
he's
not as
bloodied.
low as I thought I was, but, so that's good news.
Yeah,
I'm actually beat up pretty bad from earlier.
I thought I was a 3 out of 10, but I'm a 5 out of 10.
and
hit points.
Maeve
so-
is
Oh, you're easily a
not
6 out
hurt,
of 10.
thanks to Lord of cushioning her
Nicest thing
fall.
anyone's ever said to me.
But she is out of spells, which is her big thing.
We've been attacked by a fart machine.
A fart
so
machine, yeah, a very small, angry fart machine.
There's more to this adventure than we originally thought.
You don't say. Well, shall we go back and retrieve your stuff? We got into a fight with the Knolls, didn't we?
Knolls are nothing compared to these.
Yeah, last week the first fight was Knolls, and that's where Erevar got wounded. But the second fight was with 2 demons,
Yeah.
Stinky.
a Quasit and a Dretch.
Gross.
I mean, I definitely think that we should go back because we left without a lot of our gear and regular clothes.
Oh.
So
Do you tell him what attacked you?
I'm
I
sure.
remember you said that you were like, should we tell him what's going on? But I didn't hear you.
I give him the skinny, on
Skinny.
the stinky
The
monkey
skinny
and the
ankle.
senate that can open doors and stuff. So
Sounds terrifying. Perhaps we should just get you some new stuff.
perhaps I wouldn't need new stuff if you just showed up in the first place instead of separating the party.
You could have come with me.
They have a room. Maeve says like, but they have a room. It's really nice. Well, it was. Now it stinks.
Until someone armpit farted all over it.
Well, if you wish, we could leave now, or perhaps we could rest if you want to chance your stuff being there in the morning. Were you followed?
No clue.
We don't know.
Can I look out the windows and see if I can tell if they've been followed?
Perception.
Not too bad. 14.
You do not see anything, and I mean, You're looking for tiny things that can turn into centipedes, so that's kind of tough. And there's a coating of mist everywhere, so that's also sucks. But the one good thing about the mist is if things are moving in it, it does swirl and move and all that, and you're not seeing any of that.
Gotcha. Okay. So what do you say? Rest here, or shall we chance it?
What are you?
Did you cut off his head?
I'm at 7 of 11. I'm 7-11.
I think.
I'm hurt really bad.
Yeah, he's hurt really he's hurt really bad.
I'm like
She's
one strike
fine.
away from death.
Is he still frightened?
No, that's
But
past now.
you also,
Water
she has no
scares the
spells
centipede,
left
right?
then either.
Legit.
So,
But she has no spells and no weapons.
I don't think there's a point in going back in our current state. I think we should rest and survey the scene. Can we all sleep in your room?
of course.
So
After all the
yeah,
However, the bed is mine.
and he was like, no.
She's been through a lot. You should get paid.
Should
for
we
that.
take shifts?
We should
We
definitely
should
take a
definitely-
watch.
Yeah, we should definitely take.
Am I still poisoned?
No, it's only lasts a minute.
Okay, I was like, I was poisoned and frightened.
So both
How
those
did
are
you
clear.
get poisoned?
You're the worst.
The
Worst ever, bro.
the stink cloud. I think actually you got poisoned as well.
I did get poisoned.
Yeah. So clear that if it's still on your character.
Alright, well, I'll take the first
I was
watch since you seem to be more disheveled at the moment.
You're taking the first watch?
I'll take the first
Okay.
watch of 2, so let's chunk it up.
We have a ranger and a monk. The monk is a good muscle. You guys have no healing.
You're a monk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been a good monk in the past.
Get a bard up in that. Master of everything, a little bit of
Still-
healing.
I know, I'm nervous to try to take a bard.
Seduce everything. Like the East Rock Eye, but it works.
Why is that?
They are super charisma, and almost every ability they have is just to win a crowd over.
Okay.
Like, that's what they do.
It's like sing songs and tell stories. and make things
The
better.
joke, the meme of bards for D&D is that they seduce everything. They're literally in a fight with an orc, and they're like, I'm going to seduce the orc. Natural 20. All right, so now I have a husband. Like, so,
That's pretty funny.
yeah.
Oddly enough, that's how Kayla got dated.
I'm a bard.
She was in a fight with an orc.
Orc.
I seduced the orc.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give you half orc.
Inspiration for marrying an orc.
Yeet.
Oh.
Yeet.
Also, I'm that yeet girl on the thing. I tried to kind of like be like, no, I don't want to be that. I'm gonna be better than that. But then I was like, I'm just gonna embrace it, and that's who I am now.
I labeled you at work as the Yeet Girl, and
I
you're like,
am.
I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, all right, well, if you can make it like a week without saying it, and it's been like 2 months, you've never made it a solid
I did
week.
make it a good amount of time, and then I was like, I can't do it anymore, you know?
All right. So you're taking watches. What's the order?
Mitch.
I'm first.
Okay.
I can go third.
We should just
I
let-
thought-
Wow, thanks.
I thought you said like a 2-part watch.
Well, I don't know. If we're gonna try to do a full rest, we need to be at least 8, so we can get 4
You need to get
and
8
4, yeah.
hours. Yeah,
If we let Maeve sleep, will she get any spells back?
yeah, she get all her spells back.
Okay.
And
It's
if
us that don't need a lot of sleep.
right, you need 4.
I need
Each.
4 as well, right?
You need a full like
We just
6 to 8.
meditate. I just
Oh, okay.
meditate,
Yeah.
right?
So like it should, and you guys have the best dark vision.
Oh yeah, then
So
definitely.
you two should be the 4 and 4, and let these guys get the full 8, and you can actually
Okay.
complete your entire long rest in 8 hours instead of doing 10s and 12s as you do 2 or 3 hours. Not wanting. So, yeah, Maeve. It's like we can share the bed. I don't take up much room. I'll sleep
Please
at the
don't
headboard.
show me.
She just like she can curl up,
I'm just-
even though it's like a full size bed. She just curls up in a long like crossways and only takes up this much of the bed.
Climb aboard.
I just think
Keep
of
your
Maeve as
toes
just
to
like the
yourself.
cutest little like. You just want to protect her, and she's just so special.
She like, oh, I didn't send that out. It was the recap I was going to read on the stream, but I didn't end up doing it. But, like, all the descriptors of her, like timid, the this, the that. So
Always rogue because I speak thieves can't.
yeah, the rogue because you know what he's gonna do. Like, right, you know that he's going to try to steal from you, he's going to try to get you drunk, whatever. You have no idea what that fighter's game is, and that ranger wants to just pout in the corner anyway.
He wants to pound the
Pout.
Oh, pout in the
Corner.
He just loves to pound
I thought
the
you said
corner.
pound the corner. I was like, yeah, is that a ranger skill? Quarter pound.
Quarter pound.
Like, oh, that's a fucking great roll.
All right.
Sleepy. This
So,
better not have tracked.
what do we decide to do our watch order?
So me and you were taking the 4 and 4. I
Yeah.
guess I'll go first.
First, second.
And then it's so we can
Because
sleep the most.
you're wounded, right? So
I'm a little wounded.
you may want him to take first, because then on your watch you'll be fully healed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do that then.
I just want to make sure. So basically, like, I'm gonna go first 4, then she'll have the second 4, and that way they both get 8.
Full 8. As long as nothing, I don't know,
Well, yeah.
tries to break in the room or anything like that.
You guys brought a fucking centipede in my room. I'm very upset.
Would you like me
Did
to?
we? Why
Would you
did
like
we?
me to perceive?
I would like you to perceive.
First roll on the new die.
I hate this
Oh yeah,
fucking
show that off to the camera.
These are very pretty dice.
setting. They match his slides, his ring, his glasses.
They're very
Want
dark.
me to put it
No.
on
So
mine?
yeah, it might work
Yeah.
better over here on this one. Ooh, that's
Oh
sparkly.
my god.
They match his wedding ring.
Green with that kind of.
Coppery color.
It's like brushed steel almost, like the dark metal
I think it was charcoal. I
charcoal.
think. Mhm.
That makes sense.
Those pasty knuckles.
So good.
Pasty prints over here.
Pasty prints.
You can't see it.
16.
It's hard to see. I said we're gonna take
You
a.
want to make the noise? No, it doesn't happen actually.
Oh, I was like, fuck me, man. I was like, what? As soon as you did it, I was like,
that was the
my
noise
God.
the centipede made that went into their room the night before. You pass your watch. You hear so downstairs. They had after you guys came in, they barred the door. They also went to the back, and you heard some more people downstairs. At least 2 other people. So on your watch, you hear about every 10 to 20 minutes someone paces down the hallway. So it looks like the
Someone's
faded sign is put on a watch on the inn because some bondsmen came in distress, so they don't know what's going
You guys
on.
didn't tell the bondsman what was happening.
I
But
didn't think about it.
yeah, I mean, it's something you could have done, and he's not.
I'm just patching.
Yeah, he gets his business from
Why
the
didn't you
Cardinal
take
bond.
survival?
I decided that I'm not gonna punish him for that,
No.
and so I'm not gonna make you guys do survival stuff all the time. Keep this in the city instead of outside.
Oh, that's right. You didn't take survival. I forgot about
I'm
that.
sorry I brought it up.
No, it's okay.
I wish I could go back in time.
That's what I do when I made my Shadow
turn
Walker.
back time.
I could find a way.
Okay, I'm gonna somehow now find a way to kill my character and remake one during this campaign so I can.
So you can name him
Remake
Soft
who?
Hair Goldblum.
Yeah.
Who?
Soft Hair Goldblum.
Soft-haired Goldblum.
Waka waka.
Should he or we tell the person in the hall?
A little bit
Oh,
late
I was
now.
just-
It's 4 hours later.
It just
So
occurred to me, like, maybe we should have said something, but whatever.
So on your character, underneath or next to your name, you have a little arrow down. Hit that and hit long rest. Hit it and hit it again to confirm. And that will... You should have full hit points now, all abilities back, all that fun stuff.
Do we all do that?
It depends on the paladin. No, not yet. You're not at your 8 hours yet. Depends on what holy symbol they're wearing. If it's a devotion paladin, if it's a champion or an avenger, who knows what their cause is.
I'll wake her up.
You wake her up, she starts her watch. So
And I kind of skinny that like there's someone
There's a-
pacing the hallway. It's probably just someone watching out. I start my meditation.
Perception.
$18.
Using your skills.
So 22.
Okay. So you're sitting there. Make the sound. No. So you're sitting there. Primarily, I would assume your focus is on the window, since there's someone pacing the hallway and the door behind you. That's really the only thing that's going to be doing. So, like, you're sitting there, standing, doing whatever, keeping an eye on the window. When this shadow outside the window, like, slowly, like, comes up, and it's like, you know, the windowsill's here, and it's like, and then goes, and you're on the second floor.
So, is there like a thing it's standing on, or is this?
You have no idea what that was. And like the silhouette looks roundy, dome, head shaped, but it was completely it's completely dark out there, so you can't see any details or anything. Oh no, you have dark vision. So yeah, it looked like a head coming up, and you see two eyes, and then it went.
And if I wake everybody else up, does that interrupt their rest?
Yes.
Okay, can I investigate?
You can. You want to go over and look down?
Okay.
You don't have to roll anything. You just are you going up to the window and approaching? You walk up to the window and look out, and you see a trail through the mist going out to the street, and so it looks like someone tried to come up to your window outside on the second floor, and then saw you seeing them and ran.
Okay, so I just want to know, like, how easy was it for them to get up to that second window, or is it like, can I look outside and be like, someone could climb this, or is it something that's?
It is a cyclopean. It's like, you know, all the just rocks with mortar between them, style building. So if you were a good climber, you could probably do it no problem.
Okay.
So it was someone that had some skill in climbing. This isn't a sheer wall or anything like that. You know, there's wood beams going through the structure as well. It was just, the only odd part is just how smoothly they came up over the lip.
Okay, so I'm gonna wake up Erevar, and I'm just gonna be like, something is watching us.
Okay. That is going to, like, reset him to 8 hours, and he is the most wounded out of all of you.
If it's
hard just because
I can't tell you what to do.
He's in charge, and I feel like he's the person I would tell, regardless of how much sleep he got.
Yeah. All right. Nope. Let's do it. So you get woken up, like, and it's easy for you to be woken up, and
Chocolate. Oh.
So you wake up, and you say,
"We're being watched."
Yes, the guard.
No, we're being watched from the window.
The windows. Stand aside. I'll probably do the same thing. Look out.
You look, and you see.
Oh, I see that. I can still see.
It's still like closing in. You can see it.
I kind of like skinny to him, like the smoothness of it, the just strange overall experience.
The other thing you also notice, or can deduce from it, is that it definitely wasn't one of the two things in your room. It was too big. It was a normal sized head.
That would have been my next question. Does it look like anything that you saw earlier? Well, it appears someone knows we're here, but doesn't seem to be pressing an attack. Perhaps keep an eye on it.
Okay. Keep
all right.
You lazy. You lazy.
I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw?
I want to see how fast you can put that out of your mind and go back to sleep.
Like, wake up, you piece of shit.
A 12.
I'm
that's
scared.
enough. All you needed was a 10. So you get back to sleep before 5 minutes, and this is now considered still uninterrupted.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You lucky dog. She's like, leader, I know you're hurt and everything, but
all right.
Well, it would have been like, I'm glad that you woke me up, because like if it was me, I'd have been like, I give chase.
I thought about it, but at the same time, I kind of learned my lesson from separating the party. I'm not about to jump out of a window by myself.
Yeah, also she just healed to full, like why go like possibly get attacked by something and then
I saw what we were
By
up
yourself.
against. So.
Right.
Well, it's not necessarily there to attack either. We could investigate, sneak. Well, I guess I'm not.
But you weren't there when a centipede opened the door, so I don't
That's
know.
true.
Or
Yet.
something farted all over
Yet.
the room through its armpit.
He wasn't there yet.
Shit.
It could still happen. Alright. Dawn breaks. You sweep that up. And
That's software.
everyone can hit their long rest buttons.
So, do you have to do it with the arrows? Does that work better than the like button by your hit
Oh,
points?
because on the they don't have that, I don't think.
No.
So they may have it or may not. Do you have a long rest button at the top?
No.
No, you click your little thing next to your name.
That's what I did. No, that's what I did
These
originally.
guys, like if you're on a
When you
tablet,
hit your
you have
hit
a
points?
button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just like I have short rest and long
Oh,
rest.
I
Yeah,
see.
they don't
Oh,
have that
yeah.
because.
I was gonna say I did that when I was using
The
iPad
space.
for a while, but I just like my phone because it's smaller.
And remember, you have to hit it and then hit confirm. Also, reset maximum HP is fine because we were just using the
Yeah.
HP system of the
I know,
game.
I was gonna say I didn't.
So that's the one thing in the past when we're not using it, I would just like add my hit points back because I was like, that's
Mhm.
gonna fuck up my max hit points.
All right. So everyone's long rested.
All right.
Let's go get our shit.
All right.
Okay.
I guess.
He just wakes out of a dead sleep. Let's go get our shit.
Shit, this needs to be gotten.
Lead on.
Shit needs
Take me to your room, I guess.
Do we want to tell anyone here before we head out like what happened?
When you head down to the common room, there's none of the people you saw last night are there. They're obviously sleeping, but it's a fairly stout human woman behind the counter and a man that is in leathers with a cudgel, and they're sitting there talking. And you guys come down.
What about going to the office and telling
Ice pick.
Ice
It's-
Pick?
It is pretty early because you guys just did your straight 8 hours and try to get going. Actually, no, it's not because you were already halfway through your rest before. So no, she might be there.
Or we could always go to the hotel that you guys were at and see if they've had any sighting or problem or anything like that. Unless we bring back.
Well, I
Or
mean,
anything.
obviously the window broke,
Yeah.
so that probably woke someone up. So
Probably people came to see
they have been dealing with it all night. You don't know what situation they're going to go back at the elf song,
Let's go back to the elf song.
but to your credit, talking about that, your office is literally across the street from where you are right now.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
but at the same time, what is Ice Pick gonna
Yeah.
tell us? Or
Right.
Well, we
he's
can-
gonna be like, go get your shit and see what's going on.
We can get paid right now too. Like we
You
can
could get
have
paid.
two birds with one stone. Walk in, and be like we
Here, Mitch, how about you go get us paid and then we'll go back to
No.
Yeah, split the party.
see you later.
Alright, let's go to the office. Let's get paid.
Yes.
All right, so you go in.
I'm going backwards. Just kidding.
I'm going back to sleep.
You go
Going to
in,
Mitch.
and Ice Pick is still going through what seems to be her morning ritual. A fresh cup of steaming coffee is next to her, and she's shuffling papers from one place to another place that's just as cluttered with paperwork. And she looks up.
Good morning, Britra.
Hold on.
You got this.
I'm fairly okay with accents. It's just hard for me to go in and out of them fast.
I always hate playing multiple characters because then it's like, which one is this one? Is this the English? Is this the Scottish one?
This is the Russian one, and it's not coming to me.
Moose and Squirrel.
Oh, you see Moose and Squirrel. Thank you for that. Welcome. You finished contract.
We have the farmstead has been cleared of gnolls.
Well, of course they confirm, but payment already rendered. She reaches down. You hear keys jangle, a couple heavy turns of keys and locks, and then you hear chink, 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 and 4 gold coins come up to the counter. So the payment for you guys was a gold coin apiece. So everyone can add a gold to their.
Gold. 12.
She asks if you guys have anything to declare. Do you have anything to declare? Any spoils that may be of interest to the Cardinal Bond?
We did. I found a weird pouch with gritty silver coins in it. Odd markings. Probably null and things. And I'm going to keep 3 or so of them.
Okay. Oh, this smells putrid. Yeah, you have right to spoils for treasure. But you may want to get that exchanged, or at least figure out where it came from.
Okay. I forgot to put it into...
Where's... Oh, yeah.
Our companions have... My companions met with some troubles last night in their inn. A snake of some kind, you said.
Centipede, more like.
A
And a strange
centipede.
monkey. Stinky monkey. I'm not talking about Jordan either.
Well, that sounds bad.
Okay.
They attacked you in the city.
We were staying at the Elf Song and Centipede opened the door.
Huh. Elf Song, huh? I will contact my contact in the Flaming Fist. See what they know about it, reports or what have you. Maybe we can get another contract out of this. If you're up for some centipede and monkey for hunting.
Would I be able to know that they were probably the
Yeah, do you know they're fiends? Yeah, they're...
So
You actually, I believe, correctly identified them.
okay.
You correctly identified the one as a dredge, which is a demon.
So I definitely would add that information to what we're telling.
A demon?
Dretch. What was the other one? The centipede.
I don't know if you identified that one.
But we just know it as a centipede.
You just know it as a centipede now, and it did not change form, but you know that several of the smaller demons and devils can take animal forms.
Gross.
So she goes, demon? Well, that's kind of disturbing, don't you think? The festival this close?
Yes, but more important, or I shouldn't say more pressing, they had to flee the Elf Song in much a disheveled state. They've left a lot of their remains, including weapons and armor there. We were wondering if we might receive aid in reclaiming those.
Well, yes, I can give you directions to the Elf Song. Go get your stuff back.
What if I ask really nice for some support? No? Ah, fuck you, Bridget.
If you were a bard, you might have been able to seduce her.
Yeah, if you were a ranger, you might be able to survive outside.
Ayo! Shots fired.
It's like never
blah.
gonna end.
Can I get another claw?
It's like a claw.
There's no laws when there's a claw. So her
Can you grab me a Guinness when you're ready, please?
her follow-up to you is that she's going to contact someone in the Flaming Fist and find out about it.
So are
Open
we?
my
We
white
don't get our
claw.
next assignment right now.
No.
She wants us to go.
No, she doesn't have
Retrieve our
anything
stuff first.
for you at the moment.
We didn't even ask for that. We gotta get your shit back before we take another job.
Your shit.
Like, you're literally still in your bedclothes, and it's like
I'm in my jam. I'm doing the walk of
it's
shame.
9 in the morning. Yeah, you're doing a walk of shame.
Not the first time. Certainly not the last.
Our TV audio is fixed.
Yeah, I'm guessing the like the treble or the bass was out of whack. Have you heard, like, when you try to turn it up, it?
I haven't heard that.
You haven't, like,
fantasy?
if you turn it up,
I
it.
usually keep the volume.
Oh, yeah. But it blew. It sounded like the speaker was blown out. But now that he said that, I'm guessing that
Gotcha.
someone messed with the settings and turned bass or treble up high.
So let's head back. We're not gonna get it. It appears we won't receive any more help.
Swiper, no swiping.
You gonna go see that movie?
Fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Swiper.
It's got
We do a Thursday night premiere.
Thursday night premiere. It's got my boy. Now I forgot his name.
Benicio del Toro.
No, it's
When
the
is
guy
that happening?
from
The Dora the Explorer premiere. You guys fucking serious?
the guy from Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd?
Nope, the Mexican guy.
Oh, the guy that played Camarena on...
Michael Pena.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the father.
Oh, cool.
You're so cool, Eric.
Fire!
All right. Well, it seems we are on our own, compatriots. Let's make our way back to the elf song. Yes,
Okay.
no, yes, yeah.
Yeet.
Yeet.
So this one.
Statements.
I mean, hey.
Staten's girlfriend.
Proper tie.
Oh, shit, sorry.
All right, let's do it.
And they say 1 in 3 people are cheating on their spouse, and I just have to figure out if it's my wife or my girlfriend.
It's like that
Stupid!
They're married, by the way. That's the reason I'm making that joke.
It's like that one. One out of every 10 girls masturbates in the shower. The other 9 sing a song.
Do you know what song it is?
The hills of our life.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Boring. All right.
You've asked me that, and I tell
know.
you a different song every
It's
time.
fun. Well,
So-
I was asking you this time. I was just saying it's the
You
same
make your way to
joke.
the elf song. It is 3 blocks away.
Does it? What?
Yes.
The urine.
This is.
Urine.
Yeah. the inn you stay at, the one with the ghostly
Damn it.
female singer.
We're on a never-ending joke tale.
It's the inn that you were staying at that you have that room commissioned, and it has that ghostly singing voice at night.
So I would say we should probably see if anybody else has any inclination as to what happened last night.
Well, you're walking up to the Elf Song Inn, and there are 2 flaming fists outside. They are the guards of.
I was saying, imagine if we just walk to this place, we're gonna see
Yeah, they look over at you guys.
stuff
They're
that's
like-
happened. And there's 3 of us walking up in basically like our underwear and some weapons. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna know that like this isn't normal.
Uh,
And then this
Pardon
ugly
me.
dude's with this.
Yes, sir.
he kind of looks up at you, then looks back at them. Would you be happening to be the residents of that room up there, pointing at the shattered out window?
Yes, my compatriots were attacked in it this evening before. What sort of city are you? I'm just kidding. What sort of city are you running?
What kind of business are you
Apparently,
running?
demons attacked them, set upon them in the evening.
Well, slow down. Let's go inside. So he takes you inside, and it's kind of a stocky, short guy, already kind of bristling. Looks like he has a chip on his shoulder. The other guy is a
Don't make short.
dark-skinned half-elf that just seems kind of laid back. Like you guys walked up, and he's just like,
Oh boy, we say darker complexion.
whatever. It's like Callum Shan.
No, I'm just kidding.
Do not engage.
So you guys walk in, they come over to a table. There's a woman behind the counter. She's not the bartender, but she comes running out. You guys have seen her here before. She is one of the owner's family, so she has vested interest. And she runs up and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Diaz, are you all right?
Hardly.
What happened? Oh my gosh. The elf song is normally so secure. These times.
Did anybody else hear anything on the same floor or guests in general?
Oh, everyone was awoken by the crashing of the window.
You guys didn't open the window before you jumped out.
No, we straight crashed through it.
It's trouble.
By the time
Well, that
anyone...
was-
Poison.
That was you, right?
I wasn't here.
No, like-
Oh, I thought
No,
were
you jumped
You-
through the window
you
first.
I
crashed
jumped
out.
out. I jumped out. Okay.
Actually, you had damage, right? Oh, that's the only damage I think you took was when you cut yourself when you jumped through the window. So,
That would make sense.
because I was trying to remember, because like nothing attacked you.
Well, because I think I was still frightened at that
Yeah.
point, so I was just
The
like,
centipede
I'm
ran under
freaking out.
the centipede ran under your bed, and you were frightened of the centipede, so you booked it. So yeah, she seems very concerned, and the guard is like, all right, give him some room. We need to get a statement. And kind of hurries her off.
Would I all seem annoyed that it was possible for a dretch to get in there? Or would I know that, like, they can just do that shit?
No, you know that they're tiny to begin with. They can turn invisible and polymorph. Like, the smaller demons, they don't survive by being tough. They survive by being sneaky. So, and that's why they're given tasks like what they did last night.
That's how Mitch's characters survive.
Yeah. Came here.
Definitely not by being tough.
Came here sneaky as fuck.
Right.
I love that guy.
So they sit you down. They order some ales. They order some breakfast.
Two for me.
Where's our stuff?
And they need.
Why are we sitting down and having breakfast?
Because he needs to get a statement.
I want to get my shit back.
You're talking to the cop.
These are city guards. I mean, we can't just.
Yep.
If we pay to play in this city, we don't want to fuck around.
Cool. Can we talk while we go get our stuff?
So they sit you down and they ask you what happened.
So
they do seem to be also milking the fact that while they're on duty, they can get free food and drink.
We'll skinny what happened to him, and then also
I'll skinny exactly what happened.
Okay, so you skinny exactly what happened, and like, have you? Well, fiends, really? Fiends in the city? You sure?
Yeah. I know what these things are, and that's what they were.
Hi, tabletop to
Hey,
keyboard.
tabletop.
Oh, what's going on? Kind of, convenient to be blaming fiends with the festival coming up, isn't it?
There's nothing convenient about being
I
attacked.
love how you guys have twice heard
Does anyone know what this
no
festival's
one
about?
but he's ignored it twice.
I don't care about it. We're trying to resolve this. We can talk about the
I'm
festival
very
later.
curious. No, that. What festival? Like, I'm so confused.
He hears anything about a party, he's like, what?
Like, these people
I'm
have been like,
interested.
oh, that's weird with the festival coming up, and he's just like, I don't care about that. Let's move on.
I feel like he's put that out there for us to swing at twice, and we're like, nope.
Isn't that what we do? We just completely ignore
The Blood
any,
Moon
like,
Festival coming up in a
No,
10 and
I'm
a
curious.
10 day and a half.
Blood Moon.
Yep. It's a solar eclipse coming up.
Why would it be convenient for us to bring it up in light of the festival?
So, you two don't know about this because in the Feywild, it's different. It's kind of a... When the solar eclipse happens, or the lunar eclipse happens there, it's more of a lunacy-inducing. Like, Fey magic runs rampant, and there's all kinds of craziness going on. But you realize, you just lost track of time because, you're on the ocean and then you're in the city. But the Blood Moon Festival, only happens every 7-8 years. This lunar eclipse happens, turns the moon red. The superstition is that fiends, demons, devils, all the things from the lower planes can freely cross into the world. And so it is a festival where everyone puts on masks with demonic visages so that they can't tell they can't tell demon
You're
from
not a
demon, like
yeah.
and it's revelry and all that kind of stuff.
It's Halloween.
So now this whole connection of there are literal demons in the city, and there's this whole festival about demons coming up in a week and a half.
So you're saying are you accusing us of causing panic?
No, I mean, you sure you didn't have too much of the sauce last night and just...
So you're suggesting that someone dressed up as a centipede crawled under the door.
dressed up as a centipede?
Well, come up to the room with us. It's time our friends got their stuff back. Either way, you've heard what we've done.
All right,
what's happened.
We're gonna need to oversee you getting your stuff back, and we need to know exactly what was taken.
Lead the way.
So they walk up, and as you guys both walk in, or you four walk into the room, you...
That'll be 4 walk.
Huh? I mean... and then you go one at a time. They stand in the doorway,
It's like this.
shoulder and shoulder, and watch you. You guys take inventory.
It's like this.
Well, I'm missing basically everything but my quarterstaff, right?
Right.
I had my
Well,
adventure.
You're not
plan.
missing anything, actually. Everything is still there.
Okay.
You find all your equipment, all your clothes, all your backpacks, all the baubles and things you've bought since you've been here. Everything, well, the basin is still broken. Your hand axe is still there, though. Everything's there except that bag of silver.
Do we leave our bag of silver?
You left everything.
You left everything.
Was it the same silver that I had?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was their bag of silver.
Yeah,
you guys split
it
bags.
between you and us.
Did you find anything out about this bag of silver? These silvers? that
Not
we
yet.
both
Not
looked
yet.
at?
But
That could
Now-
explain.
now demons came in and stole silver, and there was a tiefling that bought a silver from him, and because he was interested in it.
I'm gonna leave that part out for now.
Yeah. So he goes, all right, okay. So what did they nick?
Just some silver we had acquired in our latest.
Huh. Just break in this room and steal some coin. Demons. Concerned about coin.
I
These
suppose-
are not any regular coin. I think I have a sample here somewhere.
Ooh, bold.
I was gonna say, I think we should keep it to ourselves,
I was
but
like,
our
I didn't know
leader
you
is
were,
in
like,
charge.
Let him know, but
I can ping one at him.
Right in his nose.
Careful. Give it a sniff.
Oh, he drops on the ground. Right. Hand all that over.
Sure. I'd give him 2 more.
He pulls out like a handkerchief, basically, and scoops it all up and picks it up, ties it. Right. So,
Have you seen anything like this before?
never.
Where would someone find out about something like this?
Hold on. The rogue asking that?
That's a good point.
You know where you can find out about
That's
this
true.
stuff.
Yeah, right after I said it. I
Can we gauge if he's lying or not about it?
What?
About whether he knows anything or he genuinely.
He's probably just giving you a shakedown. Like, literally,
he literally just took money.
You just
us,
took money from you.
Yeah.
But it is weird. So.
I didn't give him very much. I have a lot more if that's.
He's like, all right. The lady downstairs says you got this room for the end of the month. Make sure you don't leave the city. We might have more questions.
What more questions could you have of us?
Why demons are breaking into your room and stealing silver.
Well, have a great rest of your day.
You watch yourself. And they leave.
I'm over there bet you
actually,
won't
I have a
hit
hat
him.
on. I was like, I tipped my hat. I fucking have
like,
a
is
hat
there
on.
not a roll for mockery?
There's a spell called Vicious Mockery. It's fun. So
I'm not trying to intimidate her.
now it has become quite clear that this silver is not normal and it is of interest to things that are harmful to you. How much of that silver do you have left now?
I gave 1 away.
You sold one
and
to
then they got 3 pieces.
Urzire and they got 3.
I have everything else still in the bag.
So I think you had 7
I thought he had
left.
12.
But you guys bribed the guards to get in the city with it.
Okay, and then he had -3, so 9.
So you have 6 left, I think. You have it written down somewhere.
I don't think I did actually.
No.
I thought I did, but I was thinking about that earlier.
Because we went through great lengths of who still had what silver at the end of the
I
night.
actually didn't write that down. I drew all the pictures for the backs of it.
Huh.
And wrote all that stuff. But
Okay,
yeah.
then...
We'll just say
We'll call it 7?
We'll call it 7 then. Okay.
Oh, sorry. 6.
6. Okay.
So you still have 6 silver in that bag. But yeah, now it seems that you have to figure
I'll
out
stop giving those away now.
what that is.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Any ideas?
If only we knew more about the meaning of the silver. Why it brings us so much trouble.
Perhaps I know someone that I can speak with.
I was like, would you know someone, and or should we go tell Icepick?
We told Icepick, I thought.
Yeah, Icepick was like, oh, weird. Keep it.
We don't know anything
Yeah.
more.
We literally let her hold it. and
Maeve
she was
says.
This is cool because this is
Yeah,
why
she's
it's
like,
the
we
most.
don't-
It's like worn copper down so that it's shiny on the corners.
We don't know anything more.
That's cool.
Let's see, after we figure out what this stuff is, like, so, right, you have anyone that you can, talk to?
Hey, guy.
I'm looking at it. Calm down a second. I don't remember the name.
Pause for recollection.
Sorry.
Cue Jeopardy music.
Is it Measla Pierce?
I don't know. Is it?
That's the guy you were talking to and that you gave.
No.
Over to?
Urzire is the guy.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's head over to the Blushing Mermaid. That's the bartender there.
Alright.
So I'll basically tell him I know a rough place where ill deeds happen at ill times by ill persons. Someone might know something about these mysterious coins, as they seem to have some sort of negative connotation. Off to the Blushing Mermaid.
Alright, the Blushing Mermaid is in the next district over. It's Heapside. It's still not far. 8 blocks. Alright. So, getting there is easy enough. Nothing really costs you. The city is hustling and bustling.
This was in Docktown, you said?
Heapside.
Deep side?
Heapside.
So we had Upper Town, Grey Harbor, Low Town.
Yeah. So if you looked at that map,
I did. It was a big map.
yeah, it's a big map. So you guys are in Eastway, and that was like the little green section kind of here. The next district over, the purple one, is Heapside, and that is right before up the upper city. So this is the last district before you hit the wall in the upper city, unless you go back towards the harbor. So you head there. The city's hustling, bustling. Again, you are seeing very few Flaming Fist in the streets as compared to normal, because almost their entire army is out trying to chase gnolls. And what you are seeing aren't the caliber of Flaming Fist that you're used to. I mean, they're not just a mercenary company anymore. They're an army, essentially. And it's much like the people you encountered today. They're a little bit less. They are probably just people that they're trying to recruit just so they have bodies on the street.
So they're preparing for something bigger than.
No, they're just trying to. And they're just trying to keep order and keep it out there, but they're hiring anyone. You know, it's like anyone off the street, anyone that would normally not make their cut, because the Flaming Fist has a reputation of being pretty up and up.
So I misrepresented the Blushing Mermaid. I'll skinny this to them on the travel over, that it has ties to the guild, so it's more referred to as like you had it in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when he says the guild, it's capital G. So it's the guild. Not like you guys don't know much about that because you're not from Baldur's Gate. So what he just said kind of like goes over, and you don't know what guild he's talking about. But keep going.
It's a rough and tumble place, but is thought of more like a neutral meeting spot for illegal and illicit activities. So it's kind of overlooked on purpose. In other words, like, this place sucks, you can go down there and get broken up into fights and things like that, and which just tends not to happen actually as much. I think I'm going to read this to you real quick. Okay, so
when you take a pause to think of something, she turns to you guys and goes, "The guild runs all the crime in the city."
Yes. So it's a meeting spot for agents of various factions, but violence and revenge do occur there. At
Wait,
times,
so this is where you were last night?
Nope.
No, I'm taking you.
So Faded Sign is the bondsman
Right.
thing. You guys stay at the Elf Song,
Yes.
which is a pretty reputable place. A lot of adventurers go there, a lot of mercenaries. Now you're going to the Blushing Mermaid,
And
which he's telling you is a seedier...
I'm trying to dodge around the fact that this is like an illicit den of illegal activities, because this is the kind of place that I would go to that you don't necessarily want to go to, so instead of scaring you off, I'm trying to be like, this stuff happens there, it's neutral, you'll be fine, don't worry about it, come on, let's go.
But watch yourself.
But watch yourself.
So this is a sea...
And you're probably going to be able to tell once we get
I was going to say, can I, sense that he's... I don't know, I just feel like, Art, you should be
You're
honest
making
with
roll.
us,
I'm being
He's
honest.
being honest in a underhanded
being
way.
Yes, I'm the rogue. I'm not supposed to just be like, we're going to someplace illegal. Keep your wits about you. What I'm saying instead is like...
So I guess my question is, why is this a place that we're going? Because we think we can get information
If
about the
anyone
silvers?
has information about silver that demons and tieflings want, maybe someone there does.
Plus, without getting rid of it anymore, I'm like, hey, this seems to be causing a stink. Rather than bring it to the guard and give us the rest, I can go in here and be like, you know what this is? Give me $1, give them $1, and then they'll try to find
that
stuff.
12 silver was probably anywhere from 18 to 24 gold worth of silver, because they're so big. Each one is 1 to 1.5 gold in weight.
Probably shouldn't be giving away through.
And Mitch was just
And
in the strip club,
Yeah, yours is all gone. I think someone had 7 and someone had 9. I can't
we
remember
were
how you...
sharing our pot, so
Yeah.
that's gone, whatever.
And so all of that is gone, and now he's down to 6. So, the spoils you got, remember, you only got paid a single gold each to clear those knolls.
yeah.
That silver was a huge score, and now you're down to 6.
Well, I am. You guys are down to 0. I actually sold one of mine too. I made a couple bucks off mine.
A gold and a half.
But we don't know that.
Yep. So, the Blushing Mermaid it looks like an old warehouse. It is a 2-story, multi-part building. You look at the front, it has a cross building, it goes back, there's a stablery on the side that is actually still connected to the rest of the building, but also separate building. So the second story goes across, but the first story does not. It has a stable down here and an opening and a courtyard in the back, and the rest of the building goes out, and the second story connects those two. It is just a big pile of mess of a location.
I was like, a big pile of nets.
Yeah.
You don't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What is that?
This is from Baldur's Gate, the game.
Oh.
Yeah. So, there's a stable over here, but you can see there's a door that goes back to this courtyard. Only the second story goes across.
And this is the whole thing?
Yeah.
Right, cool.
So it's a fairly big building. It's pretty ramshackle. You walk up, you walk in, and it's set up sort of like a hotel. So you're in a little entryway. There is a reception desk in front of you, and on either side of the reception desk, it's just a half wall, kind of in the middle. You can go further back into the inn, which is where the bar is. All the bar and all the meeting areas are back there.
I'm just walk past her.
Well, there's no one there.
Okay.
On the right, there's a small little conversation nook, some couches and things like that over there, a hearth. On the left, there's some seating and the stairway up, and that goes to the rooms on the second floor. And it also goes back into the further areas. But yeah, there's no one at the front desk, and above the front desk is a life-sized, crudely carved, half-naked mermaid. And strewn about her is kind of like netting, and hanging from that net are dozens of these black shriveled things. You know what these are, but as you approach and get a little bit closer, you're trying to resolve what these things are. They are severed, shriveled hands. This is the fate that befalls anyone that doesn't pay their tab at the Blushing Mermaid. They get their hands cut off and put on the mermaid.
I'll probably skinny that to you guys as we walk in. Pay your tabs.
You walk into the back, and the back is an expansive, and again, this was a warehouse. In the front, there's open seating. There's a couple tables here and there, a couple long row tables, a couple round tables, but they're open, and there's folks here like dockhands and laborers and things like that just out there for a drink. There's a bar on the left-hand side. Further back, all of a sudden it becomes kind of hallways that are separated by curtains. So now there's booths and tables back there which are private, and they have curtains around them, and they're separated from everything. Heading into the place, you see that at the bar there's about 2 or 3 people sitting at the bar. Then there's this woman who seems a little out of place. Her clothing is really nice. It's not like she's not in a royal dress or anything, but it's very high class compared to what everyone else is wearing. She seems not the class level that is here. She seems like a noble woman. And across from her, talking to her, is a half-drow woman. She's the bartender. And she's having a conversation, and she looks up and sees you and says, "Oh, take a seat. I'll be with you in a second."
Oh, I was going to be like, measly old hag. Well, let's go sit down.
Are you going into the back and sitting?
I'd rather go sit in the curtained areas because I don't want to show off
in the back.
The packet of coins. Yeah.
So you head into the back. The curtains aren't heavy enough that you can't tell that booths are not empty or not. So you kind of just head back there. You hear the whispers. You see people at their booths talking, and you find one that's unoccupied and sit down. Within seconds, Mizla, a half-drow elf, she carries a saber across her back, even though she's a bartender. She walks in. She already has your drink. Puts it down.
Ping. Gotta quit pinging coins.
And she's like, "What can I get for the rest of you?"
Nothing for them. We have business. I'm just kidding. Order. First round's on me.
I'll have some wine.
I'll have an ale.
All right. And Maeve orders a wine.
She ordered A1 sauce?
A wine.
She
A1?
orders
A1 sauce.
He said A1. I was like, she's
Give me
hardcore.
give me some HP sauce. So she orders one.
Maeve is a freak.
Mizla kind of... She looks at you like, a little head tilt, and then leaves and comes back fairly quickly and drops the drinks off and says, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" Specifically looking at you.
Yes. We actually are in need of some identification of an odd set of coins I came across.
Okay.
Is that too much information?
Nope. No, she says that.
Oh.
Like, Mizla...
I thought that was you going, alright.
She
Like,
is-
who heavy side in this
Jesus, yeah.
situation?
Mizla heavy sighs to that. Like, she's like, "Oh boy. Alright. Well, what is it?"
Well, what is what? The coin.
Yeah. You still haven't come back to me like what your relationship with her is.
Oh, well, I'd say it's probably pretty good. This would probably be someplace that I would hit every time I landed at port.
Well, I mean, like, what kind of... Are you drinking buddies? Are you...
Oh, yeah, like I would...
More than
say,
that.
I should have said that when we first got here, I probably would have been like, you old hag, I can't believe you're still alive. Like, we would definitely be drinking, joking buddies, like,
Right.
like sailor talking, that sort of thing.
So she's like, "What have you gotten yourself into this time?"
I don't know yet, but we seem to be beset upon by demons. Something I'm not used to. Here, take a look. Don't touch it, though. It's gross.
"Oh, yeah, put that away."
Then I'll pull out a couple of silvers and be like, anything you could help me with there?
She scoops those up, and she's like, "Take your drinks. Follow me."
I chugged mine and I asked for another.
First round's on me.
So
Second one's on Jordan.
she actually like, nods.
Never claimed such a thing.
She nods in appreciation, like at that. She's like, "Yeah, that's a good move. I'll get you guys all another round. Finish these up before I get back."
Do I need to pay for this round?
You paid like several silver is good enough for what you're going on, and you know that if it comes down to information, she'll get it out of whatever payment out of you eventually.
Yeah. That's
So
cool. So sad.
she leaves, comes back, has your new drinks on a tray, and she's like, "All right, follow me."
You guys stay.
She takes you through the curtains into the... There's like another cross building in the back. Takes you back there where there's actually some rooms. She goes down a set of stairs into some cellars, and there's a couple rooms and some tables down there, and people are drinking. And she walks... It's not a room with a door, it's just kind of its own separate little chamber down here. She walks in, and it's about the size of this room, with about the size of this table. And sitting at one side, right where you'd be sitting, and this is a new race that you guys have not encountered ever, and I blame myself. You see a Goliath sitting there. So, you know, tieflings have a little bit of fiend in their heritage, and genasi have a little bit of elemental. Goliaths are a little bit of giant. So, this, about 7 foot tall, is sitting at the table.
I found one with a Twitter profile. He's like, hey.
Goliath. Is that his Tinder profile?
Yeah.
Oh, don't. He might be watching.
I didn't show it.
So he's just sitting there. He's sitting there, and he has a pony keg at the table.
Nice.
And his own mug, and he's just like hunched over.
It's expensive to drink if you're a giant.
He's in leathers. They're fairly thick. Like, you've never seen leathers like this heavy. This is what smith aprons are made out of. But he's wearing it as clothing. And he's just hunched over there, and he goes, "Yeah, Ms. I'm gonna need another one of these." And she's like, "Head up, you have guests."
You know what I just realized? I have survival.
She's a better ranger than you are.
Make us a camp, and you, I don't know, shoot some arrows into the woods or something.
So he looks up. He takes the keg. He's already pulled out the stopper, and he what is it, the
Spout?
the tap, the spout.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just pulled that out. You see, it's like at the end of the table. So he's just pulling it over, and it's glugging out of the thing.
I stick my wine glass under it.
Well, you have a full wine in there.
You just got full drinks.
So that's fine.
That's fine.
But it's going right into his mud. So you sit down on the other side. Kapow. Of this man. So you have your drinks. He pours himself a full one and sits there and puts his drink down. And Mizla just says, "Show him. I'll leave you to your business." And she leaves.
My good man, I am Erebor. I keep almost saying Isarok every time. I shake his finger.
You know, just his hand just envelops yours. It's like Crane, like shaking Crane's hand. He's like,
Your name?
Cardinal Sternbreaker Invalone.
Jesus.
Sternbreaker's your middle name?
Sternbreaker Invalone?
Invalone. Yep.
Oh, Jesus. The old hag Miz says you might know something of the origin of these strange coins.
Bam! He slams his fist down on that coin so hard the table breaks, so the plank cracks underneath that.
I peed a little.
Any of you were
Pee a little.
not holding your drinks, that drink is spilled now. And that coin is now embedded in the wood. Like,
I'll take my dagger and try to get it out.
you get that?
Not right.
He takes that, clugs it all back.
Something tells me you've seen this before.
My father, Veraroth Stormtamer Invalone.
I'm not right now.
These guys and their fucking names.
Yeah. Best blacksmith on the docks. This Gith woman comes in. Gith.
No, I know.
Commissions a kedge anchor for him to make. Pays half up front. And that's silver. Upon completion, he says, a special kedge anchor. He pours his heart and soul into this. When time comes to pay the bill, she takes his life and her silver back.
What is a Kajanga?
A what?
Kajanga?
Kedge anchor.
Kajanga. It's Jenga.
And you know exactly what a kedge anchor is. You're a sailor.
Yeah.
Kedge anchors, for everyone else, river boats. A kedge anchor generally is a secondary anchor, but for river boats specifically, it's an anchor that if you're trying to go upstream, you would take the anchor and put it into a rowboat, and the rowboat would sail out as far as the chain would go, drop the anchor down, and you literally pull your boat upstream and then repeat the process. Super slow going, but if it's all you got, then that's how you get upstream. That's what a kedge anchor.
What was special about this anchor?
Mithril. They supplied it.
Mithril, M-Y-T-H-R-Y-L.
Mirthil. Mithril.
Oh, mithril.
Mithril. You know the things in Lord of the Rings the elves make their armor out of. Very particular on the chain style.
And what style is that?
Helixed. So each link curved.
What good would a helix chain?
It's just fancy. Actually, it tends to bind more.
That's what I would have thought.
This was ornament. This was ritual.
What's that? Okay. I am going to try to get that coin back here in a second.
I don't know how I can slip that in, but I'm going to get that.
No, I'm going to work on it in a second.
The skiff. Mrs. Folk. They see her coming. They see that Gith down by Frad's Folly. And you know Frad's Folly is a pier, a broken pier along the dock line. Tell you what. You find this Gith and kill her, 50 gold.
For each of us?
No.
For me?
Definitely.
Whoever kills her. You bring her back alive,
I think
100.
I peel it like
His
that
father
too.
and mother, his father and mother were killed by this
Nope.
person?
Why is your
The
character
mother.
peeing so
Just the
much?
father, you
Just
said?
excited.
Okay.
Veroth, Storm Tamer,
Hey, man,
Inalo.
I already wrote Cradle, Sternbaker, and
Storm Tamer.
Sternbreaker, isn't it?
He's Sternbreaker.
Kratos,
His father
Sternbreaker,
is Storm
and
Tamer.
Storm Tamer.
Sternbreaker like sternum?
No, like a stern of a ship.
I'm thinking like.
What more can you tell us of this woman you seek? Or this... Is it a woman?
Yeah.
Woman?
It's Gith
I
woman.
thought-
I'm gonna need you to make me. You don't have history, do you?
What skills did you take?
I mean,
He
It's
took
like-
mockery.
I
Acrobatics,
don't have it
athletics,
because
Okay.
animal taming.
it's handling, and no, I don't have that. Fuck off.
Roll intelligence. Roll investigation. You took it. I might as well let you use it.
10.
Plus.
You don't know. You make me an intelligence check.
Intelligence, so it's the actual.
abilities, very top.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Your intelligence.
Oh,
bonus.
great. 2. No, wait. It's the 9. It's the 9.
Plus-
It's so
plus
hard.
2?
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me I'm not justified in thinking that's a 2.
Oh, that looks like a 2 with
Doesn't
the
it?
because they put the.
The line.
So you don't confuse it with a 6, but it looks,
like a
curly
really fancy
Q2.
2. Yeah, so a 9.
You got
Yep.
glasses.
No. All right. So he says. He describes her. He says, "Gith, lanky, ugly, 2 broadswords. I'm sorry, 2 single-edged swords. Horn on her, strapped to her side.
Hey.
Hey, fishing!
What up, fishing?
fishing.
Horn strapped to her belt. Has a patch on her vest. Looks like spilled goblet of wine.
This is Robert's job.
Don't you have your own leather bound?
I do, but I wasn't sure if I was going to write it in or not. Now that I've filled up on 3 pages, I should have just done it in there.
Alright.
That's
Are
all
you
right.
sure you don't want to be a doctor?
Why is that?
Because your handwriting sucks, bud.
Yeah,
Ayo.
it's short. It's really bad. Like the is like
The
like the. So I can read it.
What's going on,
it's really
fish
good
shit?
taking notes as fast as I can, but yeah, it's really bad. Like I can make it look fine.
No.
our players are falling down a conspiracy rabbit
Can't
hole.
read that. Flame fist meet us at the door.
I can read that. This looks like Blood Man Festival.
A Blood Moon Festival.
Got this extra letter right here.
All right. So I think you guys found another job. So
Listeners can't tell between a 9 and a 2.
First of all, you see my right eye lens.
Yeah.
Shit's rough.
same thing with me. My right is way worse. I'll try.
To be blind. Should I put over my glasses?
Over your glasses. Make sure you're looking at the top of my glasses.
It's so bad that like I have to give my eyes a break before I like do anything like to get used to this prescription. Oh shit. You're blind in both eyes, bro.
Or you're just much blinder than me.
Her right eye is ridiculous.
Yeah, mine, like, you can see mine coming out of the frame here. It's so thick, where it's not coming out of the frame over there.
I'm not gonna lie, I put my glasses on for the first time and I looked at Dayton and I was like, that's what I married? Shit.
Inspiration.
What is it? You already have it. Your edition.
Erudition. Hey.
It's like keep the date and jokes going. Did you not have glasses before that?
I did have glasses, but like prior to that, my doctor said I only really needed them for like, you know, looking at my computer, reading
Cultists
a
of
book.
what?
Did
And
you
then
have
when I went-
contacts?
No, I could have had contacts. I just was really terrible at putting them in. I always put them in backwards. I know, whatever.
That's
But
crazy.
when I
No.
finally went back, my doctor was like, you need to be wearing these all the time. Like, your shit's fucked.
All right.
I stepped on my glasses.
We are
Take a break.
going to take our break.
Is this for Wiley?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Unless you want it.
And you can take it.
Oh, the other one.
We're going to take our break real quick. Yes. Cultists. What the hell is going on? There it is. So we're going to take our break, but someone's going to be here. They can answer questions, do all that stuff. Dang. Inspiration for dealing with that.
So do I get an erudition?
You
I
did.
hope it
You got an
is.
erudition.
Oh.
Do I really get
You
get
inspiration?
inspiration for that.
I will fucking take it. I don't even care.
So
Since everyone else gets inspiration at my expense.
he explained to you to him. He knows what a Gith is. Apparently, none of you know what a Gith is. But it's a race. It's a woman, and he explained what she
The race-
carries, what she looks
the race
like.
was Drow, right?
Gith.
Yeah. Gith.
Gith. A Gith woman. Mizla is half Drow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I knew that about
Unseelie Court. Yeah, that's perfect for druids. But yeah, so you guys can stay to talk to him. You can go back to your own table
Oh, I
and
know
discuss
what
amongst
these are.
yourselves.
Gotcha.
Because you can try to get more information from him, but he doesn't seem like he wants to talk
I was
too
gonna
much.
say he seems
just
pretty
wants.
like.
He told
get
you
out
where to
of
find
here,
her,
yeah.
and
Gith.
don't look them up. You don't know them.
Oh. I know them from the player's handbook. I just couldn't remember which one they were, so I was like...
You know them from seeing them when you're going...
So
they're
we
not
don't
in
know
the
them
player's
in our
handbook.
Not player's
story.
handbook.
Okay.
I know them from messing around.
From
with
the character creation, you can see them, but your character and I made you roll because you guys would be the only ones that really could come in contact with them from being from another plane.
But we didn't know anything.
You didn't know.
Okay.
You don't know what gift.
I know you
Now
mentioned in
I'll
my
apply my
character
coin
creation
out
that
of
I
the Los Angeles.
might have encountered them, but I was like,
That's why I gave you.
yeah.
You had a much higher bonus.
Nope.
It's in the letter in the answer if you want.
Actually, you had a much lower difficulty.
You don't like Guinness?
I do like it.
You had to get a 14. She had to get an 18
Hmm.
to know what a gift was.
And I got a 12.
You don't want a piece of Lily, Mitch?
LOL. Yeah, so I
You're just kind of walking around with that blind eye?
well, he says that I'm not blind, my eye's just lazy. So basically what happens is if I don't wear glasses, my left eye is strained so bad that's why I was getting like migraines and getting tension headaches. He's like, you're not blind, your eye's just lazy. It doesn't work as hard. Because I can still see, you know. I notice like street signs are harder to read, menus are harder to read, but I'm not blind by any means.
I'm coming up on the 2-year mark with these. I need to get any prescriptions. I'm noticing that, like, if I kind of relax, I'm like, oh, these aren't strong enough anymore. Like, I'm going to need another prescription.
I feel like these are too strong though. They make me kind of sick.
You'll get used to it after a while. Or die. I don't know.
We can only hope.
You get used to it?
The information part of like D&D is rough for me. Like I have to kind of like adjust to like, you know, there's times in the game where you gather information, you're not involved, especially the part where like, no, you don't know that, so I have to kind of play the character that doesn't know that yet. That's hard for me too.
What?
The part where like I'll hear something that Mitch knows or something like that. It's
You
hard
haven't
for
been
me
skinning.
to
Player knowledge versus character knowledge.
and I really do try to play my character off of not knowing something, and
That's
hard for me.
That is one of the biggest hurdles for new players
I
to
think
even
that-
understand.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I heard it. It's like, well,
I think I do a pretty good job.
You do a great job.
Of like, okay, well I don't know that, so I'm gonna play it off my character.
Yeah.
It's also really hard for me to not feel comfortable in the past with being like you were saying, like, you know, you say you don't like to be a leader, but then you go, it's hard for me not to once I'm comfortable to be like,
make a decision.
this is what we're gonna do.
It's just when you're put it on the spot.
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
You don't want the you don't want the responsibility, but you want the what is it? You want the empowerment. That's and you have that. Like in this, he's the leader.
Yeah.
But that's just because he knows. He knows the city, and he's the most charismatic out of all of you. So he's the front man, but everyone has a say.
Yeah. It is cool. I'll say that, like, as I play more games, like, I don't know if anybody else like relates to this, but my visualization in my mind,
Theater of the mind's eye.
as I sit here and I picture my character, like, you know, like, this is kind of dumb, but like my character has like an outfit, like everything, and
That's exactly the way
as
it should
it
be.
progresses, like it's I can feel so much more involved in the game. Like my brain is kind of like conditioning itself to be a role player more than it ever has in the past. Like I feel a lot different than I ever have.
And I don't use the map, you know, I describe how combats are and where your positions are, and I pull up pictures and show that stuff.
Yeah.
But I try to be as descriptive as possible, and I need to get better at it. But
No, I think
like
you do a great job.
looking out on the street with the fog and seeing that trail in the mist, and like I'm just hoping that it's creating accurate visuals of what your encounter is like.
Well, it's crazy for me to like in the past, like when I've set in on your guys' game, I forget stuff really fast. But now my mind is retaining information, and it's keeping that information a lot longer than it has. Like I think I have images in my head that I don't forget, like the names of cities, like, you know, different like kind of jargon. I'm better at kind of retaining that.
It's funny because I feel like I get all of this stuff easily, and it's my character that I don't see.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like me. Like I don't make he's a pile of abilities and skills for me, It takes me forever to finally be like, okay, this is what Easter Rock looks like.
I feel the opposite.
His gun comes up from the bottom of the screen.
Pretty much. What's his head? Like Zernax, we played him for over a year. I know it's inspiration. Like I got his everything. Like I know what he looks like just right.
I crack myself up on that.
With Erebor, I'm like, he's in the NFL. He got a beard. That's why that little picture. I'm like, he kind of looks like that.
I feel the opposite in that, like, for me to play my character, like, to the best of my abilities, like, I have to keep reimagining my character so that I can play like a, There's one thing, like, I wanted to impress upon you before we made characters for this game, but you two had kind of already set your sights on Eladrin. And I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, let's do it. Like, you've already played one, you know, the abilities and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it kind of goes into the fact, like, sometimes you need to keep it simple. And Eladrin, like, you look like a season. Yeah.
So, I haven't asked you for real descriptions of what you look like yet, but, you know, as you go further into this game, it's something to think about.
I definitely have, like, a preconceived kind of imagery in my head, and it gives me the confidence to play the game a little better. I think it gives me, it gives me kind of like a preconceived notion of like what my character is going to be like, you know. So it's weird how each character kind of like comes to be, and
yep,
it's fun. It's
like you described Maeve like perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I felt that from her, like even without knowing like kind of who she was and everything. Like I instantly from the first game was like, she is somebody who you just feel like you need to protect, and she's just sweet and timid, and she's just like this character that you kind of just want to like be like, oh, like Maeve, like I love Maeve, I'll never let anything bad happen, without even knowing her, you know. And it's crazy because she, like, she's not real, she's not anything, but like in my real life, like as Kaylin, as like a human, I'm like, Maeve's my best friend, you know. I love her.
In this game world, Maeve's my bestie.
She's my bestie.
You got anything to add to that?
Yeah. I do, but no one's here to hear it now, except you.
And our three viewers.
Hardest part for me generally is like
right
when we go into one of these stretches where like right now like Mitch is in charge, and like we're somewhere where Mitch's character like knows everything.
He's the forefront.
We're just kind of along for the ride. I'm just like, I tend to like tune out to information just because I'm like, I'm not a player here.
I'm not
going to
participate in this part, so I'm not going to retain this part.
Yeah, and that's probably my biggest problem. Is just like I just kind of like check out sometimes, and I'm just like, what else is going on in the world? Because unless someone specifically like says something in one of these conversations that I'm like, oh wait, my character knows this or would know this, I'm like I was pretty checked out until you said Gith, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, I might.
Do you know Gith? Like, do you as a person, like as a player?
We've talked about it a little bit, I think, in the creating of this character and the whole like. I don't know if it's this character or not, but like we've talked about it
at some point. We talked about like you looked at him and we discussed it. Because like if you could pull up information from your own personal being, like I could give that to your character could know.
But that's my biggest thing. Also, like I know what Fishin is saying. Like I also forget during our games that like sometimes like
we gotta pay for this. We gotta do that.
Pay for things.
We gotta live.
We can't just like be like, oh, nothing costs us anything. We're adventurers and things are paid for us.
I go into games, especially like we kind of wanted to go into this game and have it be a little bit grittier, a little bit more real. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna keep track of money. We're gonna keep track of everything. It's gonna be gritty. You're gonna be living, hand to mouth, trying to keep you hungry to get these missions and all that. And then like, I don't want to look up every ale, every wine, every night stay. It's like, and there's a lot of great resources for that, like upkeep. You can just say you spend this much a day, and you get the food, you get the night. But finding the one that makes sense, because especially if you're going to go down to the minutia, like the Elfsong Inn is one of the nicer inns, and like there's some in the upper city that are luxurious, but it's a nicer inn in the lower city, so there's a scale. It makes me laugh because it makes me think of a white trash comment I've heard once, which is if it says, like, amongst dollar stores, there are good ones and bad ones. If it says dollar in the name, it's a high-class dollar store, but if it has the numbers 99 and the cent sign in the name, that's a low-class dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that even, like, every strata of anything still has its own levels.
So while we're waiting for Mitch, question I have for you is, like, how much of, like, DMing is your own, like imagination, and how much is kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons world?
So, it depends on the GM, and a lot of them, many have to do a lot of prep. They do a lot of world building. They do a lot of this.
I know. Sorry to interrupt, but like I know that like when I think about like our games and stuff and just what you guys do, like I'm like blown away by the detail and the thought that I feel like is put into every game, and even one-offs. Like I'm like, where does Wiley find the time? Like it's amazing. It just like it really like floors me.
When we were doing those one-offs at Thirsties, I was coming up with that as you guys were making characters.
Mm-hmm. Like that blows my mind.
It's just like studying. It gets easier when you do it with time.
Yeah.
So the first time
I've been doing this for so long.
What I'm doing. I made one that meandered around. We played the first Into the World game where I just was like, I don't know what you guys are doing, fucking wandering around.
Yeah.
In this one, you guys, like, we talked a week before we got into it, and I said, you know, like, what do you want to do? And you're like, what do you want to be, mercenaries, this, that, and do this thing. So I'm like, okay, we'll set it in Baldur's Gate. And then I got an idea, and I started to piece things together. I said, I kind of know what your first fight, I want your first fight to be, and I pick an enemy that I kind of want to deal with, like if it's going to be kobolds or this or that, and then
do you
track
start
it up.
with a character and you build a story around it, or do you start with a story and build characters to support it?
Anywhere. I start all over the place, and in this one I thought, I want to have you fight gnolls. That was like, that's gonna, I hardly ever use gnolls and I want to use them. So I'm like, okay, they're going to start with gnolls. I think I know where I want this to end. I have an ending in mind. And then he picked Ranger, and he's like, I'm looking at the Horizon Walker, and I'm an Eladrin. So he's from another plane, and the Horizon Walkers deal with planeswalking and extraplanar creatures and things like that. So I'm like, everything just filled right in. I'm like, yep, I know exactly what it is now. And every week between the sessions, I just go and research. Like, I find those maps, I read more about Baldur's Gate, I read more about enemies and this and that, and I take the bits that are relevant and I stack them into my game and overwrite all the details of the rest. Like, I didn't know the exact encounters you were going to have tonight. I didn't know exactly where we were going to go. But I have all the building blocks of what is going to happen in this city.
So you got me up.
I was gonna say, so my last question before we start again, I just want to ask, like, I kind of relate it to like my schooling and stuff and how much it takes to be successful in that. Like, how many hours a week do you think you dedicate to being a DM and creating stories and creating like the world, the Wileyverse, essentially?
When it's the Wednesday game in the campaign, it is probably 6 to 8 hours. That's how much prep time I do. I'll do research, I'll read. Then like the day before, like Monday, Tuesday, that's when I'll go into my Google Docs and I'll start adding information in and talking about what's next. And then right before the game, I go to Thirsties and I line up all the tabs of all the things that I need to reference.
For me, it was something that helped me last time when I did the one-off where you did the Knoll prison. For me, I draw the map first. I kind of know what you guys are going to do. Like, who are you going to be? What are you going to be? What are you going to do? That sort of thing. That way I know what I can and can't throw against you. Because if every one of you is a thief, and then I throw something at you that, like, identifies stealth and, like, kills you in 2 hits, and it's no fun for you guys either. So figure out who you guys are first, make a map, and then I just make encounters. So I know you're going to fight these two things, I know you're going to fight these three things, and I know you're going to fight that thing, and then I just kind of stick them in the map sometimes. And then after that, it's kind of up to you guys. After you guys start making decisions is when I have to start really kind of game mastering, because it's, you're like, we shoot that guy, and I was like, all right, shoot the guy. I didn't think about that, so now you just kind of get on your feet, like, well, he dodges your arrows and says, oh, don't kill me, that kind of stuff. That comes up. But for me, it was, you're going to hit these interactions, and then I throw them into a map, and after that, it's kind of let you guys play through it, sort of thing.
I just want to say, like,
that's kind of what
fish
saying, like,
for
yeah.
kind of chime in on that.
Like the last thing is, this isn't just a hobby for me. Like, I would love if all I could do, if I became rich, all I'd want to do is just
Well, and I think
run
people
games,
can
right?
definitely sense that for
And I have 30 or more years of imaginative gaming, and it's not even before Dungeons and Dragons. The games I played as a child were, make up stuff and go fight and be a hero type
That's
of
why I
thing.
wish we had a little more time to play some more complicated games too, like 40K, or like playing. Like our Shadowrun game was cool, but fuck, man, that took a lot of work. Like that was 2 or 3 sessions per day.
Yeah.
But for me, if anyone else has time, then I have the game.
Yeah.
And it's literally like when you made that Yon T, I made that adventure.
I think
that you were going
when
to
I
go.
made that character, I had like no clue.
You just looked at what was cool and kind of went with it, and you encountered snakes that you could talk to because you were Yon
no
T.
clue,
and I made that up and did that.
Notice I'm the only person on this lineup here whose name is obviously Midge.
It was like that last.
Well, I'm just saying, no. Like, is your name Lordov or Kalen? Like, are you Dayton or Jordarai? Like, are you Wiley or Maeve? Like, everyone kind of has like an interesting name, and I'm like Mitch.
Yeah,
like, I didn't
Mitch.
name my D&D character Mitch.
No one's gonna be a Mitch.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty obvious what our
I know, I'm
character
just joking.
names
Like,
are.
you guys have a bunch of Y's in your names.
Yes,
Actually,
I
all
think-
of you have Y's in your names.
My name is actually a male Irish name that is originally spelled Caelan. It's
Yeah, I know
Kylan.
an Amy that has the traditional Irish spelling. That's EIGHME. So it's like
me.
Yeah,
Oh
like
wow,
Amy,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
I know a
It's super weird.
Courtney, like a Courtney that has all the letters. Courtenay.
Yeah.
All right. So, last we left you, you were sitting across from this Goliath. He has asked you to avenge his father
Sorry.
with pay.
EIGH.
50 if you kill her, and 100 if you bring her back alive.
And all she can tell us is that
All he can tell
all you
you.
can tell her is it's Gith. She's Gith. It's a woman, 2 swords, and on her vest she has a patch of a spilled goblet.
Correct.
Okay.
And a horn on her belt.
Have a what goblin?
Spilled goblet.
Oh god.
It
It looks like a spilled goblet of
I thought
wine.
you said spilled goblin, like he's like
Goblin?
Like
No.
he's
Goblet.
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
Dude, you
A
spilled
spilled
that goblet.
goblet.
All right. Did he give us any like inclination of like where to begin?
Yes, Frad's Folly. It's a broken pier down in. Boop, boop.
First, I'd like to go thank Ms. for the
Ms.
information.
Ms.
And then also ask her what a GIF is.
Okay. Hold on. 1 second. Real quick. Damn it. Frad's Folly is in the steppes. So, if you're looking at your little district map here, so the Faded Sign and the Elf Song, where you guys normally stay, is in here, the green area of 62. You are currently in this area, the heap side, right about here, where the Blushing Mermaid is. These are the steps. This dock area here. So
Is that like right behind your head on the map there? The thing juts in.
Well, we're like in a corner over here.
You guys over here.
Oh, okay.
And that's the whole. So all that detail is like in that little.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So when this map was published, Baldur's Gate was just a blip on this, and then video games made it super popular. But the biggest city, the most important city when this map was made was Waterdeep, and they put an entire map of Waterdeep here. So I'm like, oh, they have to have Baldur's Gate. Nope, they have only the things that were important in the books at the time, which is Scardale, Shadowvale, something else I don't even know, and Waterdeep.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Major temples of Shadow.
So this is Karatur. This is the Asian-themed half of the continent, and where the now probably not as good to say Oriental adventures take place.
Makes me think of Westworld.
Yeah, so
Japan world.
this is very Asian themed, and this has cities that were important to that. But when they made, I still have the book. It's called Oriental Adventures. It's from 2nd edition. Yeah, that's right there.
What a general term to just like bypass that. Like.
Yeah, and it's like some of it's Chinese, some of it's Mongol, and some of it's Japanese. Like you can, in this continent, it has all the Asian-themed D&D. So if you wanted to play samurai and ninja, or monks, horseback riding archers, that's all here.
On a side note, we have an Oriental salad at Risky's, and it's so funny to hear people order online because they'll be like, "Can I get the Asian? I mean the Chinese? I mean the I mean," and I'm like, "The Oriental," and they're like, "Yeah, that's what I mean. I just didn't want to be offensive." I get you.
Oriental is a direction. It's not a people. So it's good for rugs, not good for people. Because it's a style, not a heritage. All right. The steps is where that's at.
Okay.
Frad's Folly, like I said, it's a small pier. It was like Frad's Folly. The steps have a lot of the cranes. So Baldur's Gate has unlike most other ports in this fantasy realm, this place has literal cranes made by Gond, the priests of Gond, who is the gnomish god of invention, and they are literal like an operator with a whole bunch of winches and pulleys, cranes that pull cargo off of ships. But around the steps there are still some of the old fishing piers, like just for the folk that used to live here before this became a major trade hub, and Frad's Folly was one of them. And a boat crashed into that pier and sunk, and that was Frad's boat, and that's Frad's Folly. So his boat is sunk right outside of that, and the pier is crushed.
And they just kind of left it.
And they left it, like, because now no one fishes down there anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Because all the cranes took over for heavy cargo, so they're out in the big piers that were built.
All right. So I think we'll make our way from
So
storm.
get away from him. You can pull out the coin.
I'll pull the coin out.
He does, like, as you're like pulling out, he kind of like reaches over and grabs your wrist. He's like, "That's blood money you have in your hand. Get rid of it as soon as possible. And let's go."
Believe me, I agree with you. All right, so I do want to talk to Ms. and thank her for her custom.
Okay. And then you ask her what a gift.
I'm sorry to say I've never met a gift woman before.
Oh, no, I don't think I have either. They're from the astral plane? Weird lizard-skinned, long-faced folk. I think there's two factions in their race. So there's ones that raid, and then there's ones that meditate. I don't remember too much.
Well, let's hope this one I'm looking for is the meditate kind.
Hearing about how she treated one of the best ironsmiths of the docks, I wouldn't wager on that. But if you want to take 2-for-1 odds.
I remember what happened last time. I'm in enough trouble as it is. Thank you again, Ms. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Sure. And she goes back to talk to that very well-dressed woman.
Oh, damn, I forgot about the well-dressed woman.
It's probably not important.
Yeah. Probably.
But we'll
not.
go spend an hour with her anyway.
We always joked because when we were playing our Rifts game, we could kind of tell who we were supposed to talk to because, like, Wiley would always be like, you walk into the town and everyone's kind of massed in a certain area, and it's clear to see who the sheriff is. He's got on a long cloak and has his sword to his side and his gun, and there's several other townsfolk kind of dressed in certain ways, and then you see a woman who's got a sleeveless vest and it's got some tattoos, fairly ornate, intricate work here. She seems to have several rings on her hands. You'd think that she has a tan line from where she used to wear glasses but doesn't quite have them on at the moment. Her hair's done in a certain, like, after about 10 seconds of description and Nate and I are like, I guess that's probably going to be the NPC or someone we're going to talk to yet.
She was definitely out of place in that town.
No, not in a bad way at all, but I just remember when we first...
And then they proceeded to ignore
Shiny,
her.
that's
Yeah,
right.
Shiny.
That was the one that I was really like, jeez, like, I feel like...
She's like 6 foot, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, by the time you were done with the description,
She was
I'm
Atlantean.
pretty sure I can draw a picture of this girl now.
That's probably the NPC.
So,
Alright. What do you say? Should we make our way to the steps and try to make ourselves some money?
Your boss.
That's what I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying.
Then let's. This has been good to me, and I'd like to repay the favor to her patrons.
And clearly this is a...
It links to what these coins are anyway.
Which I'm maybe the most offended that Fiends got the better hand of me.
and
You're in for a little fiendish revenge.
and that these coins have something to do with fiends.
Mm-hmm.
And you're involved.
I'd love to kill some Fiends if I may.
Let's make our way to Farad's Folly.
So, the steps are packed. This is a hustling, bustling port that is in use right now. It's midday. People are coming, going, carts, what are they called? Stevedores, carrying heavy loads back and forth. Like, you can barely make your way through this place as it's a living, breathing port in full business. So, you can get down there, but if there's someone watching you, or if there's something to see in this kind of environment, it's going to be really hard to pick it out. You're not going to know if you're being watched. You may miss details. There's a lot going on.
Thanks for stopping by anyway, Fishchin. It's always good to see you. We're here every Wednesday at our normal time at 9:30 again.
Yeah. If you want to hit me up for any questions or anything like that, I'm really digging the Unseelie cult, druid cult. That's a pretty good angle. But as a rogue, like, you just start having, pirate as a thief kind of person, you go down there and like, okay, like, this isn't when you pull a job.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you do a little pass by, maybe you do a casing, but this is too much.
Well, I was going to say, that's kind of what I wanted to say anyway. Let's just pass by the Folly on our way, because these people don't seem to know who we are yet. We have no reason to be chased by them, but we might be, talking about the gift, excuse me. We probably have people on our tail since somebody looked at us last night,
And demons broke into their room.
So let's take a walk by the Folly and just kind of glance at protections and fortifications, or if there seems to be anything happening that's untoward.
So, how close are you going to get? Like, are you going to, like, literally walk on the edge to the water line, or kind of in...
Critical Misty.
What?
Go Miss
What?
TV, rating with 7.
Rating with 7 people! Welcome!
Yay.
Welcome.
Yeah, so how close are you getting to this?
I think I'd like to... I don't want to get directly on it, but I want to find some place that I can kind of post up, maybe like under a shop window or something that I kind of look like I belong. I'm just hanging out, but I can watch for a bit.
Make me an investigation to stake out a spot.
Oh no. Natural 20.
Really?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No freaking way.
You find the absolute perfect spot to keep an eye on the Frad's Folly,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 2 people already there, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
What are they doing?
Looking at Frad's Folly.
Well?
Yeah, there's two guys. There's a corner street, so Frad's Folly is Broken Pier here, and the corner street goes like right on the same line as that.
Okay.
And they're at that corner. There's a signpost, and they're just one guy's leaning up against it. He's a hefty man. He's got a iron-shod cudgel tucked into his back belt. And then there's another guy sitting, facing Frad's Folly next to him. So he's kind of facing cross, but he's looking that way. And this guy's facing the pier itself. And
what does the second guy look like? Sorry,
the second guy looks like he's probably like a foot taller than the other. And just kind of like this lanky but wiry looking dude. Just knees, elbows, and everything all folded in. You see that he's got daggers, like probably 3 or 4, just stuffed into his back of his belt.
And does it look like they're investigating the folly, or are they looking out into the folly?
They're keeping their eyes in that direction, and when like big things go by, like carts and stuff, you even see the guy on the ground, like kind of like ducks down to keep an eye on it. It looks like these people are keeping an eye on Frad's Folly for whatever reason.
They haven't noticed me. And the perfect place to post out is
right
they're
there.
Standing.
That's exactly where, if you wanted to watch the pier and not look suspicious like you're watching the pier, you would hang out at this signpost. And you're like, bing! And you're like, those guys are watching that pier.
Alright, so it looks like... these guys are just posted up. There's nothing on the folly that I can see as I kind of walk by or whatever?
No, the folly, so it's, if you've ever been down to any, we're not talking about boardwalk or anything like that, just little wooden pier coming off into an ocean, and it's broken. So the last 2 posts of the pier are pretty much gone. There's only like 1 log sticking up. Then the rest of the pier, like the next 6, crashed inward, and the last, to the dock or to the ground fell in.
Gotcha.
So literally, if you walked up to where this pier used to walk out, you're looking down at water, and then 20 feet out there, old wooden pier comes out of the water up to where it used to be.
So I'll skinny to you guys that it looks like this is being watched. Like this isn't the best time to probably approach the folly, so we might be able to come back later and see if these guys are still here when it's not so crowded and busy.
Right, so turn around, keep walking.
Keep walking.
Okay.
We'll just act normal, Maeve.
All right. Okay.
So we just kind of walk on by.
You just walk on by.
Is there? How seedy is this area?
It's a dock. There's not much here except for warehousing, metalsmiths.
There's nowhere to stay near here. Really.
There are, because where there's dock workers, there's a couple gambling dens, there's a couple drinking dens. There's some places if you want to.
I suggest we kill some time in a gambling den.
So what are we interested in, that part of the dock that's coming out of the water?
This folly is our only lead, but right now it looks like it's being watched.
The gith you want has been seen around that pier, and you went to go check it out and have found that 2 people are watching it. So
2 people?
2, yeah.
How close?
Yeah, they're at that signpost. There's the guy that's standing up and the guy that's sitting down.
The issue
tall, lanky,
is never
wiry
being
dude.
scared of them, but there's a lot of people around right now. So us getting into a fight might bring guard, bring attention.
Yeah,
or even just going up and being like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" They'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Then it turns into this, "Hey, these are the guys that were asking about you earlier," that sort of thing. So it makes more sense to come back. If it's later at night and those guys are still there, then we can approach and do stuff. If they're not there, it's a better time to investigate the folly.
You went to check out the folly, found the folly was already being checked out.
Okay.
All right. So, nearby, there's a small little fish and chips place kind of, drinking hall, lunch place. It's barely a stall, but it looks like the stall goes back and then opens up into a smaller little area. It's called the Fighting Pike, and it has a fish with boxing gloves on the sign. It's all curled up fish, boxing gloves. So
the fish has hands.
The fish has flippers that go into boxing gloves.
People are gambling there.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of there's a counter, and it's filled with stevedores on lunch break, probably eating greasy papers of fish and chips, trying to get through their lunch break. The tables, they're built into the opposite wall, so they come out and they're little pub tables. That's where dice are being thrown.
Yeah.
They're doing a cup game. Normally 4 to 5 people tossing the dice around real quick. Some of those folk most of the folk playing dice are older. All definitely seamen or having something to do with the ocean. Old pilots or captains or navigators and such that want to stay close to the water.
So I'll tell Maeve, give us a round of drinks. I'll be at the table.
All right, Maeve goes up to the counter. There's actually a little place for people to just go up and order.
Care to try your hand at some dice? Bigger tables mean bigger pots.
I'll join.
All right.
What the hell?
Okay.
This is a poor choice. Right. So I'll kind of walk up and seaman swagger, ourselves at a table and kind of seaman. It's boatman stuff. So I go up and boat swagger, kind of
sea legs.
Talk my way in. Yeah, talk my way into a dice game with these guys.
Well, you're kind of looking for a game. They're all kind of full, but as you're looking around, one of the folks looks over. It's oh, we got spots for you here, and 3 people get up and leave. You say you were playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 people yeah, we were looking for an excuse to leave anyway.
Yeah.
Good luck, whippersnapper. And he saunters off.
Make my own luck.
All right.
Play some dice.
So you're playing some dice.
I'm gonna cheat.
You're gonna cheat. Just don't get caught, man.
I'm gonna use sleight of
sleight of hand.
Flag it.
You're using sleight of hand. You 2 are using a D20.
I'm gonna say intimidation.
Are you trying to cheat?
Yeah. Do either of you have proficiency in a dice set? Look at your proficiencies.
I mean, I have sleight of hand +4.
Ooh. Do you want to cheat?
Oh, I don't have. How do I not have
dice?
You have sleight of hand. That's why you've been cheating.
Oh, that's why I don't have. But I was I don't have dice.
Right, because you're not playing the game.
I'm cheating.
You're cheating.
That's right.
That's why you're using sleight of hand. So look into your proficiencies. If it doesn't say dice set, then you don't have this proficiency.
And then it's features. Or sorry, proficiencies. There you go.
Yeah.
Proficiencies in language.
I don't think I have. No,
it says
not
baking
that.
equipment. Is that what it says?
First of all, I make a great cake. Shit.
What do you have? Do you have?
Did you have a lute or anything?
I
flute and pan flute.
I do have. Yeah.
Oh, you're more of a performer.
Yeah, that's what you're proficient in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No gambling for
what
you.
What do you got over there?
What do you?
I mean, I have great sleight of hand though.
Do you want to cheat though?
No.
Okay, so you guys are all rolling d20. So there's 5 people at this table. So there's 2 people rolling against you as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just straight D20s. Not
Yeah, you
even
guys.
a plus anything?
Because there's.
You're just rolling dice to play dice.
There should be. No, let's do intelligence. Because you have to know what to keep and go on. You need to know the odds. And you're playing odds. So you guys are rolling intelligence checks. You're rolling sleight of hand, and
Not
these
so
2
much
people
for you.
are rolling what they're rolling.
So they said when I picked my characters, I was like, so I'm strong, but
Hey, can I
I'm
borrow your
dumb.
inspiration?
What did you just roll?
Very lowly. But
Like
I
how
want
low?
to be pretty damn low.
Like 1 or lower?
No, not one or lower.
Okay.
So if he fails, Like, and there's a level of failure that he gets caught cheating.
I will get caught cheating.
And you guys then get attention drawn to you and all that kind of stuff.
You can have my inspiration.
All right.
So she has to give hers up because she gets
That's
inspiration
much
more than
fucking
any
better.
of us.
Gee, buzz Christmas. I rolled a fucking 2.
All right.
Just
I
getting
thought
my
it-
drink for the
Well, I was gonna say,
next
yeah,
3 bars we
that's
go
fine.
to.
I was gonna say I probably wouldn't have done something. I thought I had inspiration. We were talking about it earlier, and I was joking around, and I rolled a 2, and I'm like, hey!
I don't have that yet because I gave it to
Oh,
her
yeah.
instead of you.
Yeah,
She started the thread that made you make the joke.
it's funny.
In this game, she's gotten already 2 points of erudition
I
to
know, right?
all
That's
of our
cool.
zeros.
All right.
So I'm saying she gets the most inspiration in this game. So
Did you already roll?
I have not rolled yet.
Roll. Don't tell me what your score is yet. Just add it up. Plus your intelligence.
15.
Don't-
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Go. What's yours?
Don't tell me. Tell you immediately.
And you could say it. I'm just going to ask for it again.
It's a 9 with a line underneath. Is that a 2?
Yes.
Laura Dove punches him for no reason.
Yeah. Laura Duff gets her inspiration back.
Yeet.
What did you get on your
See what I'm
sleight
saying?
of
This
hand?
is bias. This is
21.
sexist.
Okay.
I'm calling it right
What
now.
did you get on your roll? 15? Did you get on your roll?
11.
So, you guys are playing dice for a while. Maeve comes back. She has drinks for you all.
We have inspiration. Just kidding.
Do you want to reroll your dice?
So you,
Yeah,
how
mine is
much time are you killing here?
I want it to not be business outside anymore. Like
It's midday.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying. So let's get it to
that's
a
like 6 to 8 hours.
Let's do 3 then. Let's go about halfway to dusk,
Okay.
and that
And
way we can
then-
go back out. If those guys are still there, then we're gonna have to deal with that because we need to look at the font.
Well, you may want to wait till night anyway. I'm just saying you may not want to spend all your time here.
Well, we'll spend our 3 hours gambling, and then
And
we'll
see
figure
what's
out
going on.
See what's going on next.
All right.
Because we can peek back out, and if those guys are gone, then we can continue on and do what we need to do.
You all lose.
Shit.
You end up down. There is someone that's better than you are.
You guys cheating.
Well, he may be, but he didn't roll low enough to be spotted cheating.
Damn it.
So-
like that's the thieves thing right there. Where you're like, I think that you're tricking me, but I can't prove it.
Each of you roll your own d6, and you lose that much silver.
Woohoo! Good thing I got 2 that time.
You still have those 2 dice?
And it's not
They have special meaning to me. I can't
What are
let
we
them
rolling
go.
a
Like,
d6 for?
how much silver you lose.
1.
Okay.
hey,
So you lose 1 silver.
Here's why we're
I don't know
big
if you
boys.
have silver, but there's 10 silver and a gold. So if you have a
I
gold,
have 10 gold, so.
so you have 9 gold and 9 silver.
Okay.
So type that in.
what you rolled there, Ding?
I rolled a 2.
Hey, no. At least we didn't lose a whole lot.
So what I
Maeve's
was-
not gambling, so
Yeah.
So I had 16, then I was
So you
good
have-
at 15, and
15, 8 gold, or say 15, 8 silver. So yeah, you spend 3 hours. You're up, you're down.
Mhm.
There's just someone there that's he kind of has a good run at the end, and he specifically targets you.
I was
Like
gonna say.
you can feel it.
Yeah.
So he was just behind you at the tables for the longest time, and you were up and you were up and you were up, and then he cleaned you out.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna ask him if he has any information on the folly he'd be willing to share and thieves can't. I can be very persuasive.
He doesn't understand you, it seems.
What? Crazy
He's just a gambler.
motherfucker. All right. Well, this has been no fun at all. My chair.
Maeve brings you a couple drinks. You do not like. She never asks for payment,
That's fine.
but drinks keep coming to you.
We'll step
She sits back with fish and chips at one point, offers them to everyone.
I'm through at this table, so you guys
Yeah.
can do it. You wanna keep game?
3 hours.
Like,
it
I
is-
can't even. I'm cheating and I can't beat this guy.
Like it's 3 in the afternoon, so the hustle and bustle is still the same.
Can I kind of sneakily see if those dudes are still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
All right. So if I would entertain ideas if you have any.
Maeve's just like, let's go into the back area and just chill.
All right.
I mean, it's not like because you're in a stall basically with an open front, so you can be seen at the table, and like you've been seen for 3 hours there. So if you go in the back, which is kind of around a wall, just hide out.
All right.
You know, chill, get some food, drinks.
He owes me many.
I probably owe you guys all lots of drinks. Be glad you weren't playing with Isarok.
So, you head to the back. There's a couple tables back there. This is definitely the restaurant side of this area. There are still dice cups at the tables and people tossing, but definitely not as the competitive level on the other one. This is generally for fun. People just have it. They're practicing or whatever. There's some money changing, but you tend to notice groups will sit down and they'll play dice for who's buying food for everyone or something like that. And you can while away as much time as you want. It's never busy enough there that you squatting on a table is pissing people off. Get food, keep drinking.
You guys want to play dice with just me?
No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Maeve, like...
No.
I go take a nap.
You guys would. I was gonna say you guys would definitely know.
You just kick back your chair and go to sleep. Are you gonna? Okay. So intelligence versus.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. As much as I'd like to cheat this guy, he's got to know I'm cheating. All right. Let's do it.
He does cheat.
Of course I'm cheating.
Okay. Sleight of hand versus your intelligence.
Damn it.
Okay. It's not my
About nat 20 him.
You can do it. It's so dark.
It's a 6, so.
Okay.
Mine would be an 18.
Might only be
So
8.
he's really good.
Silver.
It's those bar games where it's kind of it's the Yahtzee-esque. You get 3 rolls, you choose the combos, and you have to get a certain combo or
in lieu
points.
of like stealing money from you, I'd probably show you how I'm doing it, like just for fun. Like, this is how I'm gaming. Because you'd probably be like, "What the fuck? This sucks." And I'm like, "Here, check it out."
At least so far, I haven't rolled many double digits on this dice yet.
All right.
That's all right. I'm not using this for any charms. This one's for it because these Isarok dice seem to roll really well unless I need to do something Isarok-y.
So,
now it's nighttime.
well, how long are you waiting? Like another 4 hours?
Yeah, at dusk, because at some point we're going to have to, we have to do something, so.
Dusk or down?
Let's do down. I want business to be kind of down. Plus, I'll be able to sneak around a lot better if it's dark outside.
So when the sun is down, there's still hustle and bustle, but it's not the ship just came in, we got to get this stuff off. It's the last, hey, we still have this late coming ship with 2 tons, we get it moving. So it is definitely much less traffic, but there's still traffic to hide in, which is good. I mean,
so
if you peek out, those 2 guys are still there.
Interesting. So do they look? It's a stupid question. Can I tell if they're wearing Spill Goblet insignia at all?
Make a perception.
8.
No, can't tell. So you literally you're peeking out of the stall and looking down to that corner, and you just see those 2 guys still there. So you duck back and confer with the rest.
So let's. I got a shitty plan. This is only a small party split. So why don't we send the 2 of you towards the folly? Maeve and I can stay back and see what these guys do.
Let's do it.
Because if they're... What's up?
I can make them like us.
Maeve says
Yeah,
that.
but don't they know they've been charmed at the end of that spell?
As long as we deal with them before the end of the spell.
Alright. I forgot you had charm.
Worst comes to worst, I can intimidate them.
I'm super persuasive too, and then we can always go over and talk to them.
Honestly, if anything, I would be the one that would definitely need staying back. I could silently take at least one out with an arrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to avoid killing them in public because they might be working for people that we might end up getting assistance from them. Like, hey, we're looking to get this gift. And they'd be like, oh, cool, perfect. Because there's somebody else in there that we don't like. We're looking for this person. Like, these guys aren't necessarily guarding for the folly. They might be watching for illicit activity in the folly as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes more sense to kind of see what's going on with them. I'm down for either the charm or the...
Why don't we let Maeve try her hand at charming? Worst comes to worst.
I just need someone else to, do the talking.
I can get that part.
Yeah. We should all... you can stay back, but we should be up there.
So
and we should definitely,
I think we should all just go.
Why don't you go up the alley a little ways? You're nearby, but you can back us up with your bow.
Okay.
So let's...
I don't want to be too split though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're within arrow's range, you're not splitting.
Well, but arrow's range on a dock that's got people around it is still not good.
We're gonna test your skills.
I mean,
let's see how well other people.
I don't want to be caught in the spell when it wears off. So after we talk to them for a bit, let's take them somewhere else.
Yeah,
see if they'll go with us, and then deal with them.
Makes sense.
If they have information that we need.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Which one do I target?
The big one.
The hefty one?
Squat with the cudgel.
The chonky.
The chonk.
His name.
He chonky.
His name is
Lord,
Errol
he
Chonkbear.
chonky.
Errol Chonkbear. It's a family name. Errol or Chonkbear? Which one's the family? Oh boy. I hate charm.
You guys are walking up.
Yep.
And she she picks up her holy symbol and she does this with it, and then looks up at him. She doesn't do her normally She doesn't do her normal hold it up in front of her. She just kind of looks down at it.
I don't like charm.
Prepared to kill.
So you walk up, and the big one's looking over, and he looks over her. Oi, Cutter!
Oh boy, we got her. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
And the lanky one looks up. Hi, who are them? Hey, my friends.
Squatty, how you been?
Just a little this, little that.
What brings you down to the folly?
Gotta watch it,
What are you watching for? Boats.
Only one boat that matters.
The sunk one out there.
Ha! He just gives a chuckle at that.
Who are you watching it for?
The boss lady, of course.
Does she happen to be green and lizard skin? Is it a Gith woman by chance?
You're supposed to be their friends.
Oh yeah, the boss woman. What is she up to?
Searching for that basin, I guess.
Maybe we can help her. Where is she looking?
Now in the aqueducts. That's what basins are, right? Use your brain box.
You know me. There's not much brains in that box.
Make a investigation.
Aqueducts, A-Q-U-A-D-U-C-T-S or E? Aqueducts.
Aqueducts.
Sure.
Let me look it up. I have it right here.
It seemed like it would be A, but it looks funky to me.
A-Q-U-E
That was right.
Is that a
D-U-C-T-S.
Yes, I got it right the first time. I feel so smart.
Okay. What'd you get?
14.
Okay. You have heard his lingo before. And it wasn't from someone that was from the prime material plane. It was from someone that was visiting the Feywild from the outer planes.
That's where you've heard that squat guy's lingo?
Yeah. He's speaking in a very specific way with very specific slang that is not what people hear on Faerun, how Faerun talks. So, on into aqueducts, I guess. This anthill's something else, isn't it? This anthill's something else, isn't it?
Sure it is. Charlotte, would that be something we would know?
They're everywhere. Yeah. So one of the things that this place does, first off, there's a whole a network of caves. That's why this place was kind of a pirate cove. There's a network of caves underneath this dock. But there's so much rainfall here that they use a whole bunch of aqueducts to supply water to everywhere in the city. It's throughout the entire city.
If it's not too much trouble, could you take me and my friends down to the aqueducts? They haven't been there before, and I'd love you to show them around.
Oh, you want to speak to the boss lady? I mean, it's about our shift in anyway.
Yeah, let's do it together.
Alright, well, we just have to wait for others to come up. Can't leave the place unguarded. Unless you want to go down before.
Go ahead, wait. We're going down before.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's...
Well, he gestures towards the Frad's Volley. He goes, take the boat. Make sure you light the torch.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. What are we going to do about these guys now, though? Because we can't just leave them. That was the other part of the plan. Like
so, now you're kind of like in this place, and Maeve goes, hey, I have that money I owe you. And she's like, can't do it out here. Around the corner? He's like, all right. Yeah, I'll be right back. And taps the other guy on the shoulder. And Maeve starts walking him down the street and into an alleyway.
I tell you what, your name again? I'm sorry.
Which one are you talking
The tall
to?
one.
He's like...
What's his name again? He doesn't matter.
It does. I've written it down. You're going to get it.
Doesn't matter. Yes.
I'm Brone.
Brone.
So is anyone going with me?
I was going to say, so I'm going to tell Brone right now. Hang on. So I was going to tell Brone, I'm like, you know what? Why don't I take this part of the shift? Go on with Squatty and my friends. Get some cash yourself, maybe have a pint. I've not much to do, and I've got to see the boss soon anyway.
Seed or Persuasion, whichever's higher.
He's trying to go to the aqueduct.
So Maeve
so
Maeve is taking the guy away off the street so that someone can knock him out
and then
deal with him.
And I'm telling him to go with you guys. I'm going to stay
try to get
back.
both.
So you're going to do this without me, but it's the only way I can get them away from the space.
Yeah.
I suppose I should go with me.
Yeah, most likely.
16?
Yeah. So he's like, oh, all right. I mean, good enough for Zud, good enough for me.
Zud.
So Maeve.
Yeah, Maeve's like looking back at you guys.
Maeve and Lord of are
heading with these two guys.
But they're moving like
They're going
off
now.
the street.
Basically,
they're going into an
it
alley.
would be you, Lord of, Maeve, and the two dudes. You guys are going to go deal with the two dudes.
Would I have to move to keep a line of sight on them?
Did we decide you were still far away? Because we thought...
No, because you didn't do that because there's too many people in between for an arrow shoot.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
I thought you were up with them.
If you just get in the alley with them.
No, that's fine. That's. I thought I was still back, but that's fine.
Erevor's like,
we had said that line of sight, first off, pulling out a bow and shooting someone on a street is not
conducive to being sneaky.
right. And there's still people going up and down the street, so...
It's no big deal. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
tempt
like
him.
they rolled low on their survival.
So...
Pass me another beer.
Yeah. Welcome to the tail end of the stream,
I may
where
kill
we're...
innocents yet.
Yeah. So, Maeve, Lord of, and Jorgerai follow, or head into an alleyway with Zud and Brone.
Erebor tips his hat to this ladies.
And what do you guys do?
I punch him.
All right. Go ahead and punch him. You have
she is a
advantage.
monk.
Do you have
I
anything?
mean-
You have like a club. Oh, that's right. You're a monk.
I don't need a club.
That's right. Sorry, I forgot.
I am a club.
The club can't even handle her right now.
Oh shit.
Her hands are registered as lethal weapons, so if she was to kill a man with her hands, she could go to jail.
If you haven't
But-
seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, don't.
I have.
What is
It's
this
a
from?
waste of your fucking
I
time.
was like, is this from the Zodiac?
But are you're punching or are you hitting with a stick?
Elbowing him.
Okay.
Also, if she hadn't caught that reference, I'd have felt so dumb and been like, okay, I'm back at
Roll with
Ramen Ramen
advantage?
trying to order food.
So roll both dice. Roll 2d20.
Roll
and take the
2d20,
highest.
and you can roll the same one twice. It doesn't matter.
Or you also have special.
Ooh.
Ooh. Dark and light dice.
shit on the stick, bro.
Whoa.
You have
I got it.
inspiration, right?
I mean, that you can't get advantage on advantage.
Oh, okay, that's pretty bad.
So I add the one I would choose plus
The higher one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 15.
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then a D4.
D4 plus your bonus. Yeah.
6.
So you're like, bam! He's like, oh! Just tumbles forward, kind of taken off guard.
Maybe
Are
we
you
get rid of Brown.
also?
I mean, are we just trying to knock them out like that?
Yeah.
And I'm not really about. Okay.
That's what we're trying to
Hey,
do.
you can always choose non-lethal damage with just about any weapon you use.
Because you can hit him with the hilt of your sword.
Right. So you can pull out a sword and hilt or flat of the blade up against the head type of thing.
What is it?
Just
I have a
slap him with your sword.
axe
Oh, you have a hand axe.
mace.
Yeah,
Slap
you can
him.
just. So you can pretty much turn the hand axe around and hit him with the back end with all the metal, weight of a axe.
Okay.
Advantage. I mean, these guys they're getting sucker punched.
I say this is. Dice. Hey ho.
Is it a 2 or
I
a
just
9?
rolled 2 5s. Plus 2, so 7.
You're proficient in your hand axe. You have to have more than that.
It's plus
Oh,
2.
it's based off strength. You have none. Yep. Yeah, you need to stick to range. You need to get.
That's why I was like, I
Hold
don't
on.
think this is my best cup of tea.
You need to
Like-
not use a hand axe and use a short sword, which uses your dex. That's what you need.
Do you have a short sword?
No.
We'll have
You
to
picked
purchase
it.
you
I
one.
mean, he
Yeah.
has a short sword.
Huh.
Walk, walk.
Do you have inspiration right now?
Yeah, I do.
God damn it! All right. So
He's like,
sorry.
bathe me in your Dayton insults.
I'm trying to level up.
How's Caitlin's character level 6 and we're level 2?
Yeah.
Because I
There's
exist.
no more of those.
I'm married
No,
to the
but-
butt of
oh,
the
you
joke.
Whatever. Yeah. All right. So you miss him, and he's like, "Ugh, what's going on?" So now it's initiatives.
I'm actually good at these.
Actually, it doesn't matter.
Wiley, don't try to open that.
Can
I got you.
Can I close the distance in the
It's
movements?
the only thing I'm fucking
Or
good
You
at.
could follow up.
That's what I
Like,
said.
there's no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to stay behind
Stay,
anymore.
yeah.
So can I close the distance in the movement?
Yeah. Once they get around the corner, you could be like, "Okay, the guy can't see me anymore," and you head up.
So I'd like to come up and get
you're going to
you.
be using this movement to get up.
Sure.
Go ahead and roll initiative. Okay. Initiatives, everyone.
Woohoo! Natural 20.
You still have to add your.
Plus 3, 23.
And don't tell me. Just remember, because
Okay.
I got my things going on.
Those dice are so dark. I like it.
They're hard to read.
It's alright. They look cool as shit.
Finally,
they
I
look
rolled,
expensive. Like,
roll something decent and it said fucking initiative.
right. Hey, I had to use somebody else's inspiration to not get caught cheating with a guy that wasn't even
Yeah, and that
cheating.
person still
Okay.
has 2
Erebor.
irritations a session.
What'd you
That's
get?
how much they get fucking inspiration. I'm saying.
Direct
What'd you
stats
get?
for 23.
Calling it.
Natural 20 for that.
Lord of
7.
Jorgerai.
You don't have bonus to your inspiration.
19.
I don't.
You have a high dex.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
It's
this
right here,
one. Oh, that's
initiative.
it. I see. Okay. 11.
That's
was
your
it.
intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the 23, like the moment they turn around the corner, you are moving. So now it's the start of your turn. You have a natural 20, so you're coming around the corner. You have Jorgerai and Brone. Brone had just ducked, or he's kind of like, "What's going on?" as he's missed, and you see him there, and they're like right at within 10 feet of the alley. So they're the first things there. Beyond that, then you have Loradov and Zud, who's kind of staggering, and then in front of all that, or past all that, is Maeve. So the first 2 people in your path is Jorgerai and Brone is untouched.
Am I close enough to make contact? with him?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well then, if we're just going for the knockout, then I'm gonna jump in and backhand rapier on him. Just butt rapier, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
11.
Oh, you have advantage. You rolled a 20.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so 11.
You miss. Like, Brone is just dangly and weird. Like, ooh.
Alright.
It wasn't Brone the one that was actually...
Well, if we weren't trying to knock him out, I just would have thrown
No, Zud was.
I mean,
Yeah. Zud, the big stocky guy, was. Brone is the lanky, tall one.
I should have just like reached down and grabbed a rock and thrown it at his head or something.
And that was with all your bonuses and everything?
Oh. No, it's not.
What'd you-
it was. No, it's 11. I had +5 and I rolled a 6.
Okay.
And then I rolled a 1 as my
Wow.
advantage.
All right.
So it was very low.
So that
Which
was
sucks,
the
man.
23. 19, Jordarai.
Damage messed up. Go, Jordarai, you can do it this time.
sure can.
Do you have anything else to hit him with, like your hands?
To do any
lost those in
even
the
less
war.
damage.
I lost those in the war.
And
What did you say?
Got a 17 this time.
You hit.
Nice.
So, yeah, roll the damage on that hand axe.
Stan has to respond in the chat first.
Right? It's like, I'm trying to do that.
He's like, what emote?
I had a whole 2 damage.
a whole
What did
two.
how much damage did you do? 6? I think it was
It's like
6.
it's a snake barfing up spaghetti. I love that snake.
Is he laughing about spaghetti or is he
It's coming out of his nose.
Alright, that was Jordarai. Lorda.
Yeet.
Yeet!
So I'm still trying to knock this guy out, right?
Yep. Oh, you could have made 2 attacks last turn. Forgot about
Forgot
that.
about that, yeah.
So now do it.
Alright,
Elbow.
I'm gonna headbutt him.
Elbow, headbutt.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, so this is how this goes, because we're doing a new critical system. So what is the damage of your melee attack, your unarmed attack?
D4 plus 4.
Okay, so that is, if you were to roll max damage on that, it'd be 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you're automatically getting 8, and then you get to roll the die again.
Okay.
So the D4 part of it, roll again, and you add it to it.
Got these nails.
Yeah.
See the way my
And those
nails are
D4s.
set up? It would be 5.
You don't add the bonus on this
Oh,
one.
okay, so
it's
1.
just
Yeah.
1. So you did 8, you did 9, max damage plus 1 essentially. Zud goes like, Zud looks over like, hey, what you do? And you just, plink, and he hits the ground. You're close enough to, and you still have movement, so that you can go over to Brone and use your bonus action to get your second attack in.
Okay. Look over to Brown and I'm like,
Bam!
19. Well, actually, sorry.
That hits.
Yeah.
So,
25.
damage.
Shit.
Shit.
And
Far.
8.
Yeah, he goes down. So you're like, bam! You're like, what are you guys doing? Bam! Take him out. So, yep, these 2 guys are now unconscious in an alley.
You made that, I think.
I don't know anything. My plan worked perfectly. Actually, this might have been.
I just love beating fictional characters up. It's like my passion.
Being a badass.
Yeah.
All right, quickly, while they're knocked out, let's make our way down to the aqueduct.
Shouldn't we bind them or something?
It's fine to keep you around, Maeve. Quickly, tie these up. Yeah, let's tie them up.
I don't know knots. Do you know knots? Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Do you know knots?
You know what? Fuck off. I know some damn knots.
I know not.
Let's go. Let's
Survival.
all roll some fucking survival. Fuck you guys.
What do you got?
You do have a good wisdom. Oh, you're spending your inspiration. You're wasting that before you go into
What you
a...
got there?
Still on 11.
Okay, so
You look down, his shoes aren't even tied.
you make me a survival.
I know knots offhand, like, don't I? I'm a sailor.
Yeah, you are a sailor.
I don't know if this is relevant, but you know what my first instinct to do is to put my quarterstaff through their eyeball and just kill them.
Poor guys.
Well, then we
15.
You see his knots are shit. You obviously see his knots are shit.
His knots are what?
Shit.
Oh,
They're
okay.
terrible. They're not going to hold anyone.
Let me show you how you do this.
Yeah. So you tie them up. While you're tying them up, you do see on Zud's, like he has a pouch on his side, imprinted in the leather is that symbol. So what it is
The
it's-
horned gorilla.
No, the spilling for a
So it's a goblet tilted on its side, and then the liquid that's coming out, and you guys know this from just heraldry. I mean, you've dealt with nobles before. You've been around enough pirates that this form it kind of goes forward, like it snakes forward and widens. It's a river, so it's a goblet pouring into a river. What it is, and then that's on Zud's pouch. Brone actually inside his tunic, like badly stitched patch. It is a yellow goblet with a red river spilling out of it.
So, can we check their pockets?
Absolutely.
Is any of them carrying... Oh, no, he's got a cudgel and a dagger, right?
So you got 4 daggers on Brone, and the iron shod cudgel on Zud.
Is that also strength-based, though? Like it wouldn't help
It's a
him out as much?
strength-based, yeah. The daggers are finesse. You could use dex for a dagger instead. It just it does d4.
Take a dagger. Or 4. No,
So you might be able to
Take a
hit and
dagger
actually
for-
add damage to
I'm
it.
not being a dick about it. I'm just saying, like, when you get into, like, a hand-to-hand combat, at any point,
I get it. I suck.
you don't suck.
No.
I'm just saying
You just
picked the wrong weapon.
the hand axe was a cool idea. I completely forgot that it was not a finesse weapon.
Also, for whatever reason, when I thought we were doing this, I chose a dagger or something as my other weapon. You're like, don't do that because you get daggers anyway. Or
Yeah,
something
everyone
like
has a
that.
dagger. You might not have hit wield on it, but almost every. If your character didn't start with a dagger, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, go to your equipment real quick and see if you're carrying one.
I just didn't think about it in the fight because you have a hand.
Well, I remember I
axe.
turned into it to choose a dagger.
Like, she
and
has
you
a
said
dagger.
you told me to choose a ranged weapon.
I literally don't have a dagger.
Damn.
I don't have
Well,
a
now you
dagger
have
either.
4. So,
I don't have
So-
a dagger.
or now you have 2 and you have 2. You can just.
Yeah.
So on your equipment, manage equipment. Go to the equipment screen. Manage equipment. Type in DAG, and it should be like the first thing that comes up.
It look like this.
Yes, a little bit more angle on the goblet.
Okay.
So, like this.
More.
Yeah. Here.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's being poured out, not that it's just tipped over.
Gotcha. Ah.
But 2 and 2?
2 daggers.
So much better.
Yeah, right? You need to get a short sword or a scimitar or.
Doesn't it suck when you do that? You click on
Also,
something
I
and
have
go,
+6s versus my other
Yeah.
2 melee weapons were +2s.
Yeah.
So, in their pouches, they have various coins of very odd denominations. So there's some gold, there's some copper, there's some silver, there's some electrum. All in all, it's about 15 gold worth. But don't add it in, write it down.
These are just regular daggers, or not like
Regular daggers, yeah. So they're 15 gold worth of non-normal coins. So these are, you've never seen these makes, prints, weights.
Okay.
You're going to have to go to a jeweler or a money changer, have them weighed and paid out to you to get them exchanged.
Okay.
But they seem a lot more normal because also each of these guys has 5 of those weird silver on them.
I take all 10.
There you go. Right. So you take the notes. You have 10 more putrid silver. So it's 16 in total now, I think, between the two of you.
Yeah. Also, putrid silver is a cool band name.
So I called it Stanky Coin.
Sneaky coin.
Stanky.
Stanky. It is a stanky coin. Okay.
The stanky coin.
You've taken care of them. You've tied them up. You've thrown them in some garbage. And now you know kind of time's of the essence. They said that shift change was coming up.
That's what I say. So that's why we have to make haste down to that.
And what they told you was take the boat and make sure to light the torch.
Yep. Let's go.
You guys walk up to Frad's Folly, and like I said, there's a pier out there. It's half sunk, but there's still the posts back here that are like slammed up against the stone wall of the docks here. And when you look down, there is a rowboat down there that is tied off, and it's got a paddle in it and a little holder for a torch coming off the front.
That's sign language for torch, in case you guys don't know.
What is sign language for torch?
Torch against the skin.
It's an obscure word, I don't know. That's like, candle. Candle is, no.
Candle?
What is candle? No, that's not right either. Oh, like that.
Little do we know, Mitch is
It's like
offending the
parachute.
whole ASL community.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
inadvertently.
No way.
My
You can go
favorite-
on YouTube and just type ASL and any swear word you want, and that's all been listed down for it. I can tell you a bunch of them. My favorite one was toss salad. Can I toss your salad?
There's a ladder,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a ladder that goes to the side of almost every pier, so you can go down and work on the pier underneath. So there's a ladder that can take you right down, and you can jump in the boat.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So you guys climb down, and you go first because you're the
The nimble one.
the boatman. You head down, you jump in the boat, and you pull it over so that everyone else can get down. You take the paddle, you pull it over to the ladder, so help everyone in. Now you're in this boat. You're in this rowboat.
Does it have a torch in it already?
It does. Yeah, there's a torch on the front.
Let's go ahead and light that torch.
Oh, God.
So the torch smells terrible. Like, first off, like when you just get down to the thing, like, and you're wondering, because some people seal boats with tar and things like that. This smells like rancid meat.
This is a silly way to go about this. I just realized that's too late now.
And you finally realize, like, it's sulfur and rancid meat smell together, and that's what the torch smells like. So you light it, and it lights up green. And it's nighttime out here. You know, there's some torches and lanterns, but they're up at the side. You're now down at the bottom of this, dark water area. It does not cancel your dark vision. It doesn't, like, normally you're used to, like, if you light a light, it'll blind you and turn you back to normal.
Does it illuminate for me, though?
It illuminates, it extends your dark vision.
What?
Yes, you're half elf.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Dark vision, not light vision.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But
Sweet.
this is literally a torch for dark vision.
Interesting. Too bad it's so stinky.
And so Maeve is like, I can't see anything.
No, so green light won't help her. It doesn't illuminate anything.
Like, have you tried to look with green light on?
I'm just saying,
like,
if it was pitch black and you put a green light in here,
you
we'd
could
be
see a
able to
little,
stuff,
but
yeah.
it doesn't travel.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
very
it's
far. Mhm.
to her, it's 3 feet of light, which doesn't help anyone on a boat. And you notice, like, you're looking around, like, where the hell am I even supposed to go? So there's the stone dock. Like, there's a stone, like, wall here that was built on the side for the piers to come off of. There's a lip. You can go underneath the dock. And if you do, you just have to, like,
We didn't get the
Get
Gith's
down.
name, did we? Because I was supposed to know who she was. I never got that.
We got some pretty defining characters.
No, it's okay. I don't.
He did. I will say he did say her name because the woman gave her name to his father to make the kedge anchor. Her name was Helnya. Helnya.
Oh, why? I'm just gonna stop assuming I can spell any of these people.
Helnya. And really, it's spelled however you remember it. But then when you read it later and you don't get the phonetics, my phonetics are weird. That's always the game show aspect of this, as I pronounce a name. And you write it down, and you get a point off for every letter that's wrong. Yeah, you can go underneath these docks, and it goes up into natural rock, and you see a cave. This is one of the infamous secret caves of the Grey Harbor, which the pirates used to use. It's pretty small. Like as
Seems like this cave is under the docks.
yeah, it's under the docks. It's about twice the size of that opening right there, in half as tall because it's in water.
Can you turn the camera around so I can see that?
No, I'm giving perspective for
No,
you.
it's
It's a
just-
small cave, and there's a rope, like just floating in the water in the middle of the cave. It like ends just before the cave, and because you have a paddle. It doesn't have oars.
Yeah.
It has a paddle.
With this, we can use this rope to pull ourselves along.
And then, like, once you get over to the cave and the water's coming out, you can't use the paddle against that. You just couldn't get up.
Gotcha.
You grab the rope, and you even see that there's a ring, like an oar ring in the left side. So you could, like,
It's totally
run the rope through that and start pulling on it.
right now. You're the strongest. Pull the rope.
I pulled the rope.
You pull the rope. You guys are heading up this channel, this cave. It's not really up. It's not a steep incline. You're not going up like this, but water is flowing out of it, so it's a little bit of an incline. And you start making your way up there, and the cave wall goes up and up and up, and your dark vision is enhanced. It's out to like 300 feet now with this torch. So up ahead, the hard-hewn rock of this cave meets smoothed out rock, and then it looks like there's a branch like straight left up ahead, and on the opposite side, so it's like cave, and then out here, but on the opposite side there's a walkway around that corner. So this is just cave, this is walkway around here, and there's a person sitting there, and they have a green torch lit next to them, and you see out at the edge of your perception the person stand up. Should we shoot him?
Oh.
But there's 4 of us.
Does anybody have any skill with bow and oh, I do.
He does.
So do
He's
I.
a ranger.
Chill out.
I had you too. What's your bonus? What's your bonus for bow?
Are we actually supposed to be hurting this guy?
Mine's plus
It's
6.
like
We're not supposed to be here.
you're supposed to light the torch so that they know you're coming,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't look like those 2 dudes.
Like we're
So you've got a drop on them, but you don't know if you're really gonna how close you're gonna pass inspection.
exactly.
You
That's
have a
what
bow?
Yeah, he's a rogue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
She has a crossbow, like she's
What's
like,
your- what's your
but she
range?
can't see, so
What's
it
your
doesn't
range
matter.
for crossbow? Oh, you don't have a crossbow.
You-
80, yeah.
She is proficient with it, so
What's your bonus?
if
for
you want to take
Plus
Maves, yeah,
better.
if you want to take Maves, you should all shoot. Why not?
Let's do it. Let's soak this guy with
There's
arrows.
one person.
There's one
versus
person.
4 of us.
Yeah, but he's just like kind of looking at us, trying
Yeah,
to see. and
he's
all of a
trying to
sudden
see who's
then-
coming
You
out.
could sound an alarm or something like that. We have
Yeah.
no idea, so we might as well take him out.
Because we're actually here to fight these people in this cave, basically, and we don't look like anybody we're supposed to. We've got secret
All right, Mitch,
information.
you go first.
Maeve hands you her crossbow.
I have a bow. Oh, him, the crossbow.
No.
No, her.
I have a crossbow.
Oh, you have a crossbow.
Yeah.
Then shoot. So
you have a bow. Bow, right?
he's a
Yeah.
ranger.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
Well,
He has a
doesn't have-
long
He's
bow.
a ranger. but
You
he
have a
doesn't-
short bow.
He
He has a
didn't bring
long bow.
Okay, he didn't bring a sword, so I was just checking to see if he brought his bow or if he like left it in the hotel
That's
room. or
all
something.
he had when he showed up to your room.
Oh,
was a
sorry.
long
I
bow.
didn't know that.
So we're all going.
All he
We're
had
all
was a
going.
sad face.
I mean, you're all shooting at the same time. Just make your rolls, and I'll be back. Tell me
That's
what
not
you
good at
got.
all. Roll it in. Oh,
I know what that is now.
It's a 2.
your 15 is probably going to be the only one that hits. Unless something good over here. What is that?
That's an actual 2, by the way.
Do you have any more inspiration or anything?
No, I use it.
I can't believe we just shot 3 fucking arrows at this guy and like we're not going to get him with anything. Yours is definitely going to hit. 15 is a pretty good strike.
And then I get a bonus action.
I don't know if your bonus action can
No,
be another
only for
shot.
our no,
Yeah.
just for that one.
Also, I thought he said that Maeve just handed you a crossbow, so that means Maeve must have a crossbow too.
Maeve
So
has
she
a
could
crossbow.
shoot
She gets to
even
go
if
You
she.
can also give your inspiration to one of us if we want to try another shot. Or you can hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
Better hope you take him down. Because if you don't kill him in one shot, then he can raise an alarm.
Hmm.
What is your bonus to shoot?
+6.
Oh yeah, you guys are both better with your bows than I am. You should give it to him and let him shoot again.
Should we see what Maeve
I was
gets?
gonna say this session's gonna end soon. You know, the more arrows we hit him with, the better.
Alright. Who hit?
What is it to hit?
I don't know. What'd you get?
I got a 15.
Okay.
10.
And you?
8.
And then
What did Maeve get?
Maeve can shoot her.
She can't see.
Oh, that's right.
She can just shoot it blindly.
You'd be like, shoot this way.
Natural 20.
Do it at disadvantage. I swear to God.
She is going to give you her inspiration to reroll.
She's nice. Good. So I can get a whole 11.
So what'd you
Give me
get?
your inspiration so I can reshoot.
15. You hit.
Is it a sneak attack?
So
Roll
do I-
damage.
Oh, you don't get a sneak attack like
Nope.
I do. So I should give me your inspiration.
So what did you
I
get?
got a 10. Does that hit?
Do you have an inspiration?
No, I haven't made a single inspiration this entire session.
Does anyone have inspiration to give him?
She does, but she won't give it
She's
to me.
holding on to it.
Because she can't have it in the next session, and she's trying to...
Yeah, it's the end of the session. You can't keep it.
She's like, I don't give a fuck.
Give it to Mitch.
I get a sneak attack, I do extra damage if I can hit this
Alright,
thing.
I'll give it to Do I roll my damage?
Yes, you
But
roll your
I'll get my
damage.
inspiration to Mitch.
Better not fucking waste this.
Shit on a stick. 5.
Okay. All right, Mitch.
Come on, man. Fuck, 7. Jesus Christ, dude.
You hit this guy. Like he's like, and he kills. Like he's like, oh.
Dude, I got another 2.
It's down to initiative at this point.
Fuck.
So
I'm gonna roll fucking good initiative. It's...
3 of you roll initiative,
Yeah.
and you're trying to. Oh, okay. All right.
Alright, there's what I did.
Erevar, what'd you get?
15.
Lord
15.
of
13.
Chodorai. So yeah, all 3 of you go before him. So take another round of shots.
God damn it, dude. 13.
That is.
Oh, thank God.
And you
17.
hits.
What was it?
I don't know, I can't see it.
It's so hard. So
That's
she
what she
said.
said.
Hey, 15.
That hits. No sneak attack on this
No, I
because
get
he's aware now.
7 damage.
And you.
5.
That's 2
And
in a
you?
row on that die.
I know.
Wow.
You alright there?
Yep.
Having a great time. 7.
All right.
That's a lot of fucking damage and arrows.
Yeah. You like. Oh! And you see him like kind of turn around and like then.
Like 3 more arrows.
And he falls in the water and like floats down. And as you're going, like pulling yourself up, like, you go back and hit your rope because you were sliding backwards since you were holding it. Like Maeve was trying, but she's not strong. And you're pulling that back up, and his body's like. And just
poke it
keeps
just in case.
floating down.
Sneak attack.
And as you're pulling yourself up, you see above you is a large metal grate that was probably down in front of this entire place.
Great what?
Grate.
White.
And there's spikes on it. And then there's a rope that comes out and comes like through eyelets and comes down right next to where he was standing.
Thank goodness.
So
There's that boy.
it would have been really bad if you would have gotten to pull that rope. But as you pull up, you see that there's a little tie-off for the boat up at the corner where he's at. You don't know what you're supposed to do with the boat or anything, but this like where he was and that ledge goes down and then goes to the right. So there is a hallway, and this is obviously formed rock with a ledge, so kind of in the sewers or aqueducts at this point. And this goes deeper in somewhere off of this cave system. And that is where we're going to end this. You are somewhere underneath the city in a aqueduct hunting a mysterious gith.
Yeah, this puzzle's Alright.
Questions, comments,
No, that was good.
thoughts?
No, I think we did really well that time. We got a lot of information.
Are we going by where we just killed this dude?
Yeah, we had to tie off where he was sitting.
Yeah, you're right where he was.
So can I get an arrow back?
No.
Can I pick his pocket?
So there's one arrow
Floated
in
away.
him, which
Right.
floated by you.
No, I should have.
And then the other one hit
stabbed him.
the
I was like,
wall.
Sneak attack. Extra damage on the corpse.
Make sure to knock off 2 arrows on you
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
that's right.
And
See, that was something
two
when we
crossbow
were
bolts.
playing the Dragonborn.
Yeah,
I started for a while, and then after a while,
I didn't-
there was so much going
yeah,
on.
I didn't care
Yeah,
for the Dragonborn, but this is a little bit more
no, absolutely.
gritty.
Donk.
Yeah, it was a little bit more talky, a little bit more investigaty.
That's right. We
You
still
know,
got a little-
no fights until the end, but
We got
you
some,
guys are in it now.
we got some cheating. We got your stuff back. We got grifted a little bit. I think it was a eventful session actually.
You got another strange piece of the puzzle with this whole Blood Moon festival coming up.
I also think we had kind of a fun break period too, where we talked about a lot of stuff. We got to ask a lot of questions and things, which I think is always
Fishin and Kaylin.
fun. Yeah, I was just saying, which I
Probably
think
got
is
a
a
lot
lot.
of erudition for Caitlin.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So
true.
her character's going to get advanced before the rest of us.
And she's still a ways
skill
off.
and stuff. Yeah, that's how I learned to work.
As long as I remain here.
It doesn't.
Good.
It doesn't last forever. The novelty of the, like, I'm just gonna do this every time. No respect. No respect. No. You got to come up with something new each session. Session.
Assassin.
She's like, look at this picture of him when he's 9. We're like, ah, fucking inspiration.
What did I have? A light crossbow?
You don't like crossbow.
Okay.
What are you looking for? Your
I accidentally deleted it for
Oh.
some reason.
go to your equipment.
I got it
Oh,
back
okay.
right
Click on your arrow.
You need to find your bolts.
Mhm.
Minus off them. There's quantity on them.
I think I got it. Okay.
Kaylin.
Hi, Allie!
What?
You're here for the last like 30 seconds of the stream.
Yeah, we're just about to
It
leave.
counts, it counts.
Thanks for showing up, though. That's cool.
You should. Are you Prime subscribed? No, you're just a
She
moderator.
was when
Sure,
she was.
Oh, you're
when
Twitch
she
Prime.
had
You're still
it,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, you're still on it. You need to do that, but
Also,
I bet you don't
subscribe
remember.
with your real money. We know you can afford it.
so
You don't need
Kaylin,
it. Yeah.
You
Do you want to
need
take
it.
us out?
Don't want
Let's
to take us
share
out.
it first.
I'd love to take us out. Thank you for coming to the Wileyverse. We had a lot of fun. We are here on Wednesdays at 9:30, and we are going to be here consistently on Wednesdays at 9:30. Thank you guys.
And that's 9:30 Arizona time, which is currently Pacific time. See you next week.